Dari, thank you very much. It is one of the great settings in all of college football, and there will be over 70,000 packed in to Williams-Brice Stadium this afternoon to get a good look at the new look South Carolina Gamecocks. A lot of energy in the building. Part of the reason, 2001 Space Odyssey, one of the great entrances in all of college football. South Carolina hosting Old Dominion coming up here in a matter of moments. Two teams that dropped 7 games last year. Old Dominion making to a bowl game. Meanwhile, South Carolina had a long offseason, just 5 victories. Shane Beamer tried to revamp some things, in particular at offensive line. They needed to get the running game going. So a lot to look at today if you're a South Carolina fan, but against a team that certainly can give you a handful in Old Dominion. A guy that certainly brings a lot of energy is alongside Ashley Shamedy right now. Let's go down to her.
All right, Coach, season opener, home opener, running out with your team right now. Can you just describe the feeling of being back here for the start of a new season?
Yeah, it never gets old. Done it a bunch of times now, and I still get goosebumps and chills every time. We got the greatest fans in America. You see that today. It's a home opener, non-SEC game. It's 1,000 degrees out here, and it's sold out, and this place is rocking. So excited to watch our guys play.
You've got a freshman quarterback leading the way in Lenora Sellers. What can we expect from the 19-year-old as he makes his first college start as your starting quarterback?
I'm excited to watch him. I just told him we got a lot of new guys. We're going to make some mistakes. We're young, particularly on offense, but he's extremely talented. We got to be great around him. We got to run the ball, and he's a gamer. You know, there's other freshmen I'll worry about. I ain't worried about that guy.
All right, Coach, best of luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Boy, talk about a guy that brings some energy right there in Shane Beamer. Dave Neal alongside my partner Aaron Murray will be with you all year, traveling around the Southeastern Conference. And speaking of the SEC, obviously it's a new era. A lot to look forward to in 2024.
Well, I love it. The new look, Texas and Oklahoma joining this conference. You have the extended playoff, so a lot of hope for teams to be able to make the 12-team playoff. And you get rid of divisions as well. So for South Carolina, their schedule, Dave, looks more like an SEC West schedule, which may be daunting, but also fun for fans to kind of mix it up a little bit throughout the season.
Well, we heard Coach talk a little bit about Lenora Sellers, this redshirt freshman quarterback. You've had a chance to look at some tape, however limited it is. Your expectations and thoughts?
He's still a redshirt freshman that, like Ashley said, is only 19 years old, but it's hard not to get excited watching the tape of this young quarterback. His ability to throw the football down the field, 50, 60 yards, allowing the receiver to get on top of the defenders. But this is what's going to make this offense special. They struggled running the football last year. You add in the dynamic of a quarterback that has wheels and the size to run over defenders. It's going to be a new look, somewhat new look offense for the Gamecocks.
Well, those were the 2 plays that Coach Beamer told us yesterday in our meetings that kind of sold him on, hey, wait a minute now, we got a dude right here. So we'll see how this plays out. The youngster getting his first start here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Now, the good news for Lenores is he didn't have to do it himself. South Carolina went out and got themselves a heck of a running back when he's healthy, and Rocket Sanders coming over from Arkansas. He is an added dimension to this offense.
Oh, he's unbelievable. Physical, like Lenores as well, running the football. You go back 2 years ago at Arkansas, 1,400 yards rushing, was banged up for the majority of the season last year. He feels healthy. He's lost about 20 pounds since arriving here on campus. We talked to both of them yesterday. Their excitement to work together as a duo in the backfield. I anticipate a lot of the RPOs, run pass options, zone reads, really putting defenses in a bind. 2 elite runners in the backfield. It's going to be a fun offense to watch here this afternoon, Dave.
See how these players hold up in this heat, including their head coach, Ricky Ronnie, who took this team to a bowl game last year, lost a tough one in Charlotte to Western Kentucky, had a substantial lead, 28-0 early, and then they led 35-14, but lost in overtime. He said, hey, man, it was what it was. We owned it. Try to get better in the offseason. They're excited to be here. First ever meeting against South Carolina. We'll see how this plays out here in a matter of moments. Close to a full house on this super hot day. Cramps could be an issue, but both these coaches knew it was going to be this hot earlier this week. We'll see how that plays out. South Carolina won the toss. They defer, so Old Dominion will get the football first. Devin Roche back to return the kick for the Monarchs, who went 6-7 a season ago. Alex Herrera, who won the kicking battle in the offseason as Mitch Jeter graduated. Alex will kick off. He's kicked off a dozen times in his career. Been around forever around the South Carolina program. This kick will sail a couple of yards deep, and Roche will bring it out. He's to the 17 and dropped at the 18-yard line, and that is where the Monarch offense will take over. So, Grant Wilson, a transfer from an FCS program, Fordham, a couple of years ago, was the main starter last season for Old Dominion. Led him to the bowl game. Finished throwing over 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. He's a guy the coaches say, we talk about Lenore Sellers, but he's a guy that's got a couple dimensions to his game.
Well, he's definitely a runner. You go back and watch the tape, an athlete. Both these quarterbacks want to be labeled as passers first, but when things break down or we have a light box with defenders, the quarterback's legs will be essential this afternoon.
Aaron Young gets the start at tailback. Deontay Vines goes in motion. They'll get it to Vines, and he's hit. That'll be a loss of 4 on the play right out of the gates as Vines was met immediately by Demetrius Knight Jr.
Well, you saw South Carolina. Most offenses want to ease into the game. That's a triple option. You can hand it off to the running back, the quarterback and runner. You can throw it into the flat. South Carolina was right there to stop them.
Flag comes out to stop the play.
False start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's on the center, Michael Flores. And, you know, both these teams have something very similar, and that is they had to clean it up on their offensive line from a year ago.
61 sacks for this offensive line last year, and that's not just all offensive line. I'm not going to blame the big boys up front. That's quarterback being on time, that's receivers being on time as well to improve that stat this season.
Wilson loses the football and snapped out of the air, and South Carolina will have it at the 2-yard line. Debo Williams comes up with the football.
We talk about offense is coming out slow, but not the defense here at South Carolina. This place is loud. The defense is flying on the blitz. And we talk about what it takes to protect the quarterback. No one was open down the field, and then you have tenacious pass rushers getting after the quarterback. Pops it in the air for the first turnover of the season for South Carolina.
Kyle Kennard put the hit on Wilson, which set up the turnover, and now South Carolina with a 1st and goal. They'll spot the ball at the 3-yard line. Raheem Rocket Sanders in at tailback. Sellers gets a clean snap. They'll hand it off to Rocket. He dives forward. Touchdown, South Carolina. Welcome to Columbia, Rocket.
Dave, you and I talked yesterday after sitting down with Rocket Sanders about just the difference in his personality from a year ago. Banged up, not really involved in the Arkansas offense, and just his excitement to be here this afternoon, feeling healthy, being a part of this offense. He knows the offensive coordinator from his time there at Arkansas as well. And coming out your first snap in a new uniform and you get in the end zone, got to feel good for that young man.
Still wearing a little bit of red, a little different flavor. The Garnet of South Carolina. They're taking a look to make sure that he did cross that goal line before a knee went down.
Great effort. And yeah, I think he's going to be down.
Where's the ball? He might be a little short.
Yeah, I think he's going to be down about 1 or the half-yard line. So take it back. First run, not a touchdown for Rocket. I'm sure he's going to get an opportunity on the second play.
Daniel Gautreaux gets the word from up above, and he'll spot the ball inside the 1-yard line. So Rocket will get back on the field. You know, you do have Lenore Sellers in there at 6'3". He might just take the snap and lean forward.
You have a quarterback that's 245 pounds, running back that's 225 pounds. We might get a little tush push right here.
It is a little quarterback keeper, and let's see if that's enough. No signal yet as they push Norris back. They're going to say he didn't get in. So 3rd down now and about a half a yard.
You would think with all that muscle back there in the backfield, you'd be able to get the half yard. I just call it again. 245 quarterback. Get him in the gun here. So some sort of downhill dive zone read.
Out of the shotgun, they give it to Sanders, and they're going to say touchdown this time around for Rocket.
Third time's the charm. Just hand to the big running back. Kind of very similar feeling to what he was doing there at Arkansas a couple years ago with KJ Jefferson, another big physical quarterback, about 240, 250 himself. And you saw those guys do a lot of that inside the red zone, just run the football, wear down defenses throughout the game. You'll get a lot of that with Rocket and Norris throughout this game here this afternoon.
Well, the Monarchs did not make it easy for South Carolina, but they do punch it in. Here's the point after. Alex Herrera connects on the first extra point of 2024, and South Carolina, after a defensive stop that gave them the football inside the 5, get the touchdown from Raheem Rocket Sanders to lead it 7-0 here at Williams-Brice Stadium.
On a hot afternoon, it started with the defense, a great turnover, getting after the quarterback, and you give this offense, with the size of their quarterback and running back, a short yardage. They're going to find a way to get in the end zone.
SEC football is presented by Sonic. 7-0 South Carolina on top of Old Dominion. Didn't take long. A turnover created a very short field for the Gamecocks, and they got the touchdown from Rocket Sanders. And that one will bounce through the end zone, and the Monarchs will bring it out and try to reset offensively. This is a Old Dominion offense that averaged 23.8 points per game last year. That ended up being 10th in the Sun Belt. They threw for just under 200 yards a game. They rushed for over 150, but a revamped offensive line. As a matter of fact, completely new starters up front for the Monarchs here. Aaron Young back in a tailback. First down and 10 from the 25. 4-man look for the Gamecocks. Hand it off to Young, and he'll pick up a yard or two. Tough yards out to the 27-yard line. DeAndre Jules, first one there for South Carolina, who hit the transfer portal pretty hard, and they feel like they've got some exceptional talent in their front 7, or actually front 6 for the Gamecocks. Wilson has time, going up deep, has a man. Isaiah Page makes the catch. Page to the 15, to the 10. Dancing around, dives for the pylon, got it, touchdown Monarchs. 72 yards.
This is an offense, Dave, that struggles on first and second down and long drives, but they can score quickly. 12 drives last year were touchdowns in less than 1 minute. They can score fast. It's just when they have to drive the length of the field, which was the issue. And one-on-one, just dancing, tippy-toeing the sideline is Isaiah Page, finding a way to get in the end zone to tie this thing up.
Point after from Ethan Sanchez on the way. Isaiah Page, a former walk-on, led the team with 43 catches a year ago, couple of touchdowns. Just posted a 72-yarder as the point after is up and good, and we're quickly tied at 7. 4 career touchdowns. You can now give him 5, but how about some of the moves he was putting on?
Woo! And this is something that Clayton White, defensive coordinator for South Carolina, told us yesterday. His biggest fear is just giving up the big play. When receivers get on top of the DBs, great job splitting the 2 defenders and running through it, and a perfectly thrown ball from Grant Wilson doesn't slow down the receiver that much. He's able to catch it in stride and then find a way to make one-on-one, and then this pylon cam. Looking like you, Dave Neal, on the dance floor, finding a way to get in the end zone. Big plays is what this team can do. They want to sustain drives, but you will take 7 points on the road against an SEC team any chance you can get.
Credit to a couple of pieces to that little puzzle right there. Offensive line held up, gave Wilson a little time, and then Wilson threw a perfect pass to Page. Juju McDowell to return this kick for South Carolina. Coming near side, and that'll actually bounce through the end zone, and that'll come out to the 25-yard line. So what an answer from Old Dominion. We'll see if their defense now that has actually some field to work with can do with this South Carolina offense. Again, led by Lenora Sellers, the redshirt freshman from just up the road in Florence, South Carolina. Taking over for Spencer Rattler, who put together such a fantastic season. 2 seasons here, really. Played 3 games last year, perfect throwing the football, averaged over 10 yards per carry. Led his high school state team to a state championship. 3-man rush by the Monarchs. Here's Sellers trying to find a little bit of room, and he does so out to the 30-yard line. Give him 4.5 yards. Mario Thompson pushes him out of bounds.
Oh, this is a good example right here. Young quarterback, want to make a mark, the excitement of being the guy heading into the season. Yeah, I'm going to take away that first possession because it's a little bit unique getting the ball inside the 3, but right there, you have an easy completion into the flat. I want to see Lenore's just take completions. Don't try to force a big play down the field.
Hand off to Rocket Sanders, breaks a couple of tackles. He's out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. Will Jones, the second, trips him up, but a 9-yard pickup for Rocket.
It's just a good feeling if you're a South Carolina fan to see early success running the football right now, and Rocket looks healthy. His offense last year, Dave, 85 yards rushing per game. It has gone down every single year over the past 3 years. That is unacceptable. You want to get over 100 yards per game on the ground.
Sellers has some room, cuts it back. Taken down inside the Old Dominion 40-yard line. Manning able to hang on to those ankles of Norris. A gain of 21 yards. Sellers, gain of 21 yards.
It's just too easy for the big quarterback. And talking to the staff, they said, the offense is going to be that much different from last year with Spencer Rattler. Listen, when you got a 6'3", 240-pound quarterback that can run like that, you better make the offense a little bit different with him.
Out of that pistol formation. Dump it off, well played there by Old Dominion. Michael Smith with the catch out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play, but Smith Young steps up, does a nice job in the open field.
You're going to see a defense right now, a little 3-2-6 action, playing 3 defensive linemen. They just struggle at that level of collegiate football to recruit big guys up front. Going to play with a lot of DBs on the field, 3 safety look. And those guys' job today, they're going to be coming downhill pretty aggressively.
Sanders, little stutter step. It's down to the 33-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 8. Mario Thompson getting the start today. Old Dominion was hoping to have E.J. Green out there at linebacker, but he's a little banged up, so Mario Thompson getting the start today. Good to see 42 in white. Played a little bit in the first series. We didn't think we would see him today. Jason Henderson, who's led the country in tackles the last 2 years. Here's Sellers, and he needed to get to the 28. He saw the stick right in front of him, but I don't think he got there. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard or so for South Carolina.
Yeah, we'd like to see the big man put his shoulder down, get the first down. But I'm sure heading into that play, we talk about the newness of college football this year, Dave. The quarterbacks also have the earpiece in the helmet where they can communicate with the quarterback from the offensive coordinator. I'm sure talking to him before that play, it was, hey, we got 2 plays to get the first down. Don't force it. Try to get some positive yards.
Hand it off to Sanders, and he powers his way for the first down. Manning again. Hit on that tackle from the secondary.
I've been impressed with Sanders, and obviously a running back that's played a lot of football in the SEC. A lot of wear and tear, especially in the lower part of his body, the knees. And the cuts he's making right now, really good feel, great patience. This is a new offensive line that he's working behind as well. New system, looks very comfortable.
Sellers will take it. Brady Hunt, the tight end, a transfer from Ball State with a nice block. Helping Lenora Sellers pick up 6 yards.
Well, I love those zone reads nowadays where the quarterback's not only reading the defensive end, but you're going to get a back block from right to left from the tight end. He's going to turn into the lead blocker for the quarterback if he decides to pull it out of the belly of the running back. Great read, and then great block down the field.
Oscar Attaway, the third, in at running back. They will give it to him. Big hole off the right side. He's down to the 15-yard line. That's enough for the first down after a gain of 6.
It's a great job by this offensive line. Going against a unique front, the 3-2-6. Once again, don't see a lot of that in the SEC. See a lot of it in the Big 12 and the type of offenses they run. So your blocking schemes, are a little bit different from what you're used to going against more four-down fronts. And doing a great job handling it, working their way to the second level to give their running backs plenty of room.
10th play of this drive, 8 of them have been on the ground. Make it 9 on the ground. This time, Sellers is stuffed. Manning and Colbreth make the play defensively for the Monarchs. It'll be second down.
Well, that's going to be the interesting thing here this season, just in general for South Carolina, is you believe you have an improved defense, and I think they will be improved on that side of the football. Great front seven. They feel tremendous about their back end as well. Can you be an offense that can dictate the tempo, run the football, eat up clock, move the ball down the field, take it to an opposing defense?
Sanders cuts it back, and he gets walloped around the 14-yard line. Jalen White-McLean, the first one there. And it'll be third down coming up. The ball sits just inside the 15-yard line.
It's going to be the first true opportunity to throw the football in a known passing down for this offense. And I would say if we talk about the improvements throughout the football team, the big question to me is the receivers. Who's going to step up from that room and make plays inside the red zone?
3 split to the near side. Sellers looking that way, and he is hit, and he'll be dropped back at the 23-yard line. That'll be a loss of 8. It'll be 4th down. Mario Thompson came flying in from his linebacker position to make the hit.
Well, if they're going to bring pressure, they have to blitz someone from the second level. It's very difficult to get 3, rushing only 3 to get after the quarterback. So you're going to see linebackers blitzing, twisting up front. But most importantly, great job down the field. No one was open.
Well, here's Alex Herrera. He has been on campus now. This is 6th season, but this is his first career field goal. A 40-yarder on the way. High enough, long enough, and it is good enough. So a 40-yard field goal will give South Carolina the 3-point lead. First quarter football from Williams-Brice Stadium.
SEC Network Football is presented by the all-new Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
(10-7) South Carolina out in front of Old Dominion. First ever meeting between these two clubs. South Carolina was gifted a touchdown right out of the gate. Nice defensive play by South Carolina. Gave the offense the ball first and goal. The 3 took a couple of plays, but Sanders pushed it through. And then Old Dominion came right back on a 72-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Page to tie it up. And then the 3-pointer just a minute ago from Alex Herrera has given the Gamecocks this 3-point lead. It is a smoldering hot day here in Columbia. This kick will sail into the end zone and out to the 25-yard line. Old Dominion last year, boy, they had an unbelievable season. I feel bad for their fans because if they weren't healthy when the season started, didn't have a good, strong heart, man, they might have had to go see a doctor. They had 11 of their 13 games were one-score games. They had a handful of games that came down to the final play of the game.
That's fun football, though. Why would you not like that as a fan? Give me games I'll be sitting down watching the entire thing. And then you got to call a heck of a bowl game, too. Unfortunately, they're on the wrong side of that one.
That was a nutty bowl game. Western Kentucky won. Bryce Duke In at running back, they'll hand it off to him. Big hole off the left side, and welcome to the game, Bryce. He'll pick up a couple out over the 37 to 38 yard line. That's a gain of 13 and a first down. Nick Emanwari bringing him down, but a good hole off the left side. Wilson on the run. That one is batted away. It'll be incomplete. Jalen Kilgore back there defensively.
Well, for those SEC fans watching this football game right now, you're going to say, what does this offense look like? Very similar to Tennessee. Going to spread you out, receivers all the way almost to the sideline. A lot of times 2-by-2 formations. You're going to get a lot of the zone read option from the quarterback, who has the ability to throw the ball quickly to the outside of the field as well. And then they'll go up tempo to try to push the limits.
Duke stays in the game at running back. They'll fake it to him, hit a little slant to Isaiah Page, who gets his arms underneath the football right at midfield, and that's another first down for Old Dominion.
Well, it's a good test on both sides of the football for South Carolina. You're going against a unique defense at 3-2-6. We talked about last possession, then offensively, in this up-tempo, spread you out. Your eyes have to be in the right spot for the front seven, especially to make sure that you're not giving up easy slants behind the linebacker like that previous play.
Here's Bryce Duke off the left side, drives it into South Carolina territory where Alex Huntley wraps him up. Gain of about 4 on the play for ODU. They get to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. Here's Duke again, lost the football as he was hit immediately there by Bam Martin Scott. 6th-year player, his 4th year here at South Carolina.
I'll tell you what, I really like the 2 linebackers here for South Carolina. Debo Williams, Bam Martin Scott. A little bit different. Debo, more that run through you. Bam, great job. Figure out what the offense is going to run, go out there and execute, make plays just like that one.
3rd down and 7.
Just going to see if they can get after the defense or quarterback here. 3rd and long situation.
Pocket collapses right at the last moment. Wilson just airmails into his bench. It is 4th down coming up. Let's see what ODU wants to do here. They're going to bring out the kicking unit.
We got a little bit of a taste right there. Dylan Stewart, the 5-star defensive end, going to be coming in mostly on 3rd down situations to be able to get after the quarterback. And man, do they love this young man. Beautiful size, 6'6", 250 pounds, can bend and get after the quarterback. Going to be a nightmare in this league for at least 3 years.
Seamus Hall to punt it away. Jalen Kilgore is back deep at the 10-yard line, comes up to the 15, calls fair catch, and that's where he will make it. Oh, South Carolina's offense will have the football again. 4:37 to go here in the opening quarter from Columbia. Well, last year, Xavier Legette and Spencer Rattler had to be pretty much the show offensively. Legette, 71 catches, over 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. He and Rattler were a dynamic combination. Matter of fact, it got Legette to be a first-round draft pick, 32nd overall, just up the road with Carolina, but some sort of athlete. Boy, he was a lot of fun to watch in his career with the Gamecocks.
That was a big bright spot for that offense last year, the combination of Rattler to Legette.
Do we have a Sellers to Jared Brown? No. Incomplete. Flag down at the line of scrimmage.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 19. Number 19 was covered up and went out for a pass. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, Dave, we had the first look of what this young man can do, throwing the football down the field, stepped into it, and Jared Brown, the transfer from Coastal Carolina, who is a just dynamic athlete with the ball in his hands, just unable to track this one.
Old Dominion has decided to decline the penalty. It'll be second down.
Once again, a little taste for this fan base here of maybe some big play potential with that strong arm from Lenore Sellers.
Oscar Attaway, the 3rd, in at running back. Sellers will throw again. Pump fakes. Lofts it up high in the air, and this one is incomplete. No flags on that far side. Crowd thought there was some pushing and shoving. Nathan Manger was the intended receiver, but it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Looked pretty good from up here, both offensively and defensively. A little hand grabbing. It's a good job by the referee keeping it in the pocket. See, a little grab of the jersey from the OD defender there.
Now 3rd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Nottoway stays in the game at running back. 4-man rush. Lenora Sellers will throw high, and that one will be incomplete. Trying to hit the speedster Nick Harbor at 6'5", 235, and Nick came down awkwardly and now hobbling off the field.
That's a play you got to make. You're a dynamic quarterback, doing a great job getting outside the pocket. You break down the defense. Nick Harbor does a great job of becoming a very friendly target to the quarterback. And like you said, Dave, 6'5". The speedster looking for a big second year in this offense. You got to put it right on the body, let him catch it. Then with that speed in the open field, who knows what can happen.
Isaiah Page back to return this punt. Average 7 yards per punt return. Kai Kroger, one of the best in the business. Line drive kick, fair catch called for at the 40, so good field position coming up here for Old Dominion. Talking about Xavier Legette, and guess what? The former South Carolina star is with Ashley.
Guys, I found him right here on the sidelines. And Xavier, what does this feel like for you being on the sidelines as opposed to being out there?
Oh, man, it's great, man. Just being able to come watch the younger guys that I played with last year, man. It seems like they're excited, man, and they're ready to play. And, man, the fans, they brought the energy out here for them as well.
Oh, yeah, this energy is unmatched. Drafted by the Panthers, so you're right down the road. I know it's just been the preseason, but how has that transition been for you from college to the professional level?
The transition has been pretty good for me, man. It's a little faster start while playing in the NFL. But I had a little downtime, man. I dealt with a couple of injuries, but, man, I'm back on track now and everything going great for me.
And Xavier, rare in today's world to have someone spend their entire college career at one place. What does this school, this program mean to you?
Oh, man, this program mean a lot to me. It got me where I am today. And, man, I'm very happy for this place, man, and it's going to continue to grow.
All right, what do you think so far about Lenora Sellers in this offense?
Oh, man, well, being able to be here with him last year and work out with him during the offseason last year, man, I know he's going to be a great player, and I like the way that he's doing what he's doing out there now.
All right, Xavier, thanks so much. We're excited to watch you in the NFL.
I appreciate y'all.
Guys.
How do you not like Xavier Legette? How do you not like this pass rush from South Carolina? Kyle Kennard with a big series, a couple of huge plays for the Gamecocks. The transfer from Georgia Tech. He played 42 games over on the flats, making his presence felt here with the Gamecocks.
That's a great job. A little hesitation, then getting around the left tackle, and like you said, back-to-back plays, or two of the three plays, able to find a way to get into the backfield and be disruptive. They have 4 or 5 defensive ends that they can really rotate throughout the game, hopefully stay fresh, stay healthy. Gear, Kennard, Edmond, and then the young, talented freshman and Stewart as well.
Rush is on, a wobbly kick, and a flag comes down. We may have a roughing the punter call. South Carolina tried to get after it. They blocked 14 kicks the last 3 years. That is most in the SEC. They had 4 blocks last year.
Running into the kicker, receiving team number 8. The penalty is declined. First down, South Carolina.
Always got to be ready for some sort of beamer ball, whether it's in a return situation, block a punt situation. And
we got hit high and low.
Yeah, I'm about to say, shot block on the punter there, essentially. Only 5 yards, though.
Well, our stellar SEC football lineup rolls on tonight, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. On SEC Network Plus, Mississippi State hosting Eastern Kentucky. Number 6, Ole Miss will host Furman at 7 Eastern. And Auburn will host Alabama A&M at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Kentucky will host Southern Miss on the SEC Network on our SEC Saturday night game at 7:45. Every game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere you may be. Rocket Sanders on that carry. as we approach 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I'm excited for some more shots down the field. This 3-safety look defensively. These guys are coming downhill fast. After kind of what this offense did to score the first touchdown, then the next possession of just running it and running and running, giving it to Rocket, letting the Norse run as well. Started to get a little greedy on the back end.
Norris keeps it himself, and he is out to the 35. They'll spot him. I guess that big frame got it out to the 37-yard line, and they will move the chains good enough for the first down after the 8-yard pickup.
We go back to last year's film and watching Spencer Rattler, obviously more of a passer, doing a great job throughout the preseason for the New Orleans Saints, but adding the dynamic of the quarterback run just involves so many more players defensively to have to worry about it.
Pulling the big boys up front to create some space. Sellers pushed back at the last moment. Mario Thompson made the tackle. No flag down, but that'll be another first down.
It's a great job by this offensive line, getting out front. You're going to see pulling tackles and guards, kicking out defensive backs. This offensive line too, Dave, last year, the key is going to be stay healthy. 9 different starting rotations for the first 9 games of the season. I feel like they've built some decent chemistry throughout the offseason. Have about 8 or 9 guys that can rotate in as well.
Rocket Sanders trying to find a seam, couldn't do so. Picks up 1.5 yards. Ricardo Williams Jr. making the stop for ODU. Rocket has lost some weight, and man, you want to talk about a physical specimen. His body fat,
Is there body fat?
I mean, it is a different looking guy. I mean, just not just in his physical look, but mentally, and just that was a tough year for him in Arkansas last year, fighting through a knee injury. Occurred in the first game of the season, then had shoulder surgery this offseason. High throw, incomplete. Jacobs was separated from the football around the 39-yard line, and he is slow to get up. Boy, he is on his back. Big hit coming from that back end.
For an injured player.
Mario Easterly, part of that crew for ODU.
They're going to get play action pass, big post with a deep cross. Norse does a good job. Ball's just high. That's twice now we've seen balls just out of the reach of the receivers. You want to be able to put that on him. That way he's not having to turn and is in a vulnerable position for a defender to come and hit him right there in the rib cage.
Easterly, the redshirt sophomore out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 14 stops a year ago. But boy, put his shoulder right into the chest of Andrevius Jacobs, a transfer from Florida State. Looks like Dre will be all right. Easy for me to say, I guess, sitting up here. I didn't take the shot to the chair.
Have you ever had one of those shots before, Dave?
My older brother used to wail on me pretty good when I was a kid.
Oh, these 3rd and long situations have not been good for South Carolina. Just trying to find that breakout star at the receiving position, someone that you know you can go to.
Pressure comes. Sellers trying to dance around it, can't do it. Drop by now Atola. Cohen, the redshirt sophomore, making a big play. Had 14 tackles in their bowl game, playing for Jason Henderson, their All-American linebacker, and now comes up with a big sack. That was a loss of 8 on the play.
That is the end of the first quarter.
So the end of the first 15 minutes. South Carolina got things going early on after a turnover, gave them a 1st and goal situation, but not much since. 10-7 Gamecocks, second quarter football on the other side. Back inside Williams-Brice Stadium. Great opening day crowd on this super hot day. South Carolina leading 10-7 in their 131st season of football. First year was back in 1892. Had a couple of years off that they did not play. They are leading by 3 in the opener of 2024. Kai Kroger to punt it away for the Gamecocks. Isaiah Page back to return. The line drive kick, and this one hits and takes a favorable ODU bounce out to the 24-yard line, and that is where it will be downed by the Monarchs, by South Carolina. Well, tonight, SEC football final is back for another season. Dari, Chris, Benjamin, back to break it all down. They'll talk you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the games. It's coming your way around 11 Eastern, 10 Central, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. And, of course, a lot to talk about today. Georgia a little slow out of the gates, but, boy, did they get it going. It looked like a real deal. I mean, that is a powerful football team we saw today.
I mean, the Georgia big win versus Clemson. Vanderbilt's getting an awesome win at home to get their season going as well.
Hand off to Aaron Young. Nothing doing there. Well, we got a second. Let's head downstairs, visit Ashley.
All right, guys, maybe one of the most unique pregame rituals that I've seen yet is from Old Dominion's head coach, Ricky Ronnie. He told all of us earlier this week that he likes to take a piece of each stadium that he goes to and bring it with him. This is some grass, some turf from right here at Williams-Brice Stadium here in Columbia, South Carolina. He does this before every game. He's been a part of a lot of different ones and obviously in a lot of different conferences. He said in Athens he took some of the hedges, and then Missouri he took a rock. He was able to just get a little piece to bring it with him. He says he has something from over 50 schools, and his late father-in-law, who was one of his heroes, made a little box for him to be able to display all these little mementos through his coaching career. So, guys, just a really cool pregame ritual. He says people know he does it now, so I don't think he gets in trouble, obviously, but he does collect these little sandwich baggies and has them with him, and it's something he's going to be able to look back on when he's done with his coaching career, guys.
Yeah, he used to come out with a little pocket knife. Nowhere to run for Grant Wilson. He is dropped back around the 16-yard line. He had some time, just couldn't get rid of the football.
Well, that's Kennard and Stewart, two defensive ends just colliding at the quarterback in the backfield. But you said it best, Dave. Nothing open down the field. Has time. I mean, the pocket's collapsing on him. You feel the pressure as a quarterback. Can't really step up. You can't go backwards.
Is that the worst when you can't go forward?
No, not really. Unless if you don't have the size, yeah, a little bit. But if you're able to get around the defenders, yeah, that's when you see the real big plays happens. If you get outside the tackle. But great job by those two defensive ends, making sure the quarterback kind of felt the pocket surrounding him, unable to get out of it.
Seamus Hall punts it away to Juju McDowell, who will fair catch it at the 41-yard line. So some good defensive possessions for South Carolina. Now they'll try to get their offense cranked up. They lead by 3 here in the second quarter. One of the best stories of college football the last couple of years, Jason Henderson. 6'1", 225. Led the country in total tackles in 22 with 186. That was third most in FBS history. Came back and had 170 tackles a year ago. Just a staggering amount of plays he makes every game. Did not play the bowl game, had a knee injury, took him a while to rehab it. Averaging over 14 tackles a game last year. He has been banged up. Coming into this game, loose football picked up by the Monarchs. Down the sideline, Patrick Smith-Young pushed out of bounds inside the 10, and ODU with a huge play.
I tell you what, this defense has played well. 10 points given up in the first quarter, but 7 of those a touchdown. They were backed up inside their own 3-yard line. One-on-one open field, big quarterback. Put your hat on the football. You got to wrap it up with 2 hands. If you're the Norris Sellers, Angelo Rankin Jr. Beautiful form tackle. And then the scoop. And then bringing it back inside the 10-yard line. I'll tell you what, though. Nick Harbert running with a track star. Making sure he didn't get in the end zone there.
37-yard return. Sets up ODU. First and goal from the 9-yard line. Split 2 receivers to each side. Aaron Young is your tailback. hands, goes in motion, looking that way, and that one is picked off. O'Donnell Fortune stays in the end zone, touchback.
Oh, he baited him. He baited him. You're going to get a smash concept in the corner. Is going to jump up real quick to cover the flat defender. That's just understanding route concepts defensively. You're going to jump up and then come back knowing that there's going to be a corner route over the top. Savvy play right there for Fortune to go back there and make the big-time interception, get the ball right back for his offense.
Boy, even from up here, it looked like there was a little bit of room to get that pass in there.
You got to throw it high. As a quarterback, you know, any ball towards the front of the end zone, you want to throw low. Make your receivers go down. Anything middle and back, you got to throw it high. Too many guys that can drop back and make a play on it. That's an easy interception. But once again, very savvy play, understanding route concepts.
5th career interception for Fortune. First down and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Boy, a golden opportunity for ODU to take the lead here in the second quarter, but goes for naught. Denzel Lowry hits Juju McDowell in the backfield. Juju, 5'9", 184, the senior out of Bainbridge, Georgia. 63 yards on 26 carries a year ago. Did have 11 receptions as well. Second down. McDowell dancing around, cuts it back. Trying to get the edge, and he's knocked over by his quarterback, Lenoris Sellers. Ran right over him trying to get in front.
I mean, we know Lenoris is big and all, but man, don't knock over your own running back. I thought we were about to get a house call. Great job, vision. And then Lenoris, who's a good 60 pounds heavier, trips up his own running back. That's when you go back and watch the film, like, man, QB, I'll take that to the house. Right now, this offense, Dave, struggling to throw the football. First quarter stats, Lenoris 1 for 5, -3 yards through the air.
I don't know why Juju McDowell having a hard time keeping his emotions in after he felt like he was going to hit. He's upset that he thought he had a touchdown, but we just got word that there is a lightning strike in the area. Thus, the teams are being sent to their respective locker rooms. It is a hot, humid day here in Columbia. So we're going to have to wait 30 minutes. Juju McDowell still have some time to kind of simmer down. Love to hear that discussion when they get back in that locker room, though.
Oh, you know he's going straight to his quarterback saying, what are you doing, bud? Come on, man. That was a house call.
So there is just some spotty clouds in the area. But our referee, Daniel Gautreaux, got the message and immediately went over to the sideline. And first had a conversation over there with Ricky Ronnie, the old Dominion head coach. So with 11:42 to go here in the second quarter, we will have a break for a while. Let's hope it's no more than this 30 minutes. Good news is Dari's getting the boys back together in the studio.
Well, they had a short
window. Yeah, right,
yeah.
right. They should be ready. Right,
Yeah.
they've got the energy, the juice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the overtime game for Vandy, they were cut short a little bit before our game, so.
So, Dari, I hope you enjoyed your little snack. In the meantime, it's all yours. Hey, Dari, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. Hey, that was just kind of a rehearsal for tonight's SEC final.
Yeah, little it's week one for all of us. We all need to knock off the rust a little bit, whether we're in studio playing a football game or in the booth like we are, and back to action.
Yep, after a lightning delay, teams are getting ready to play some football here in the second quarter. This is how it started. Great opening possession for South Carolina as they get the fumble and the fumble recovery by Debo Williams. Took South Carolina a couple of plays to get it in the end zone, but Rocket Sanders picks up his first rushing touchdowns for the Gamecocks here in 2024. But ODU answered right back. Outstanding run by Isaiah Page to cap off the 72-yard touchdown pass from Grant Wilson. And then the 40-yard field goal from a young man that's been on this campus now. He's in his 6th year, but Alex Herrera finally gets to kick one in a game, and he makes it from 40 out. South Carolina, how about this number? Now, remember last year they averaged 85 yards a game on the ground. They're up to 93 right now, but 1 of 5 for -3 yards through the air.
Yeah, just you had the quarterback, the runner. He's done a great job running it. Lenore Sellers there so far in this game, 56 yards rushing on the ground for him. But the big question is not only his ability to throw the football, but these receivers too, Dave. Like, who's going to step up from this receiving core and really be that standout guy, be that Xavier Leggett from a year ago? And that is a question that is going to be something that we're going to be asking for the majority of the season, I think.
For the last play before the teams went to their respective locker rooms, Juju McDowell took a handoff to the right side, cut it back to the opposite side of the field. Looked like he had a touchdown with a bunch of green grass, but as he was trying to hit the sideline, he was tripped up by his quarterback. He didn't have enough for the first down at the 36-yard line, so that is where the Gamecocks will take it here, and the first handoff goes to Rocket Sanders. Lowers the shoulder out to the 39. Manning with another tackle. Back into that secondary. This is a defense for ODU that last year gave up 27 points a game. 5th in the Sun Belt. Pretty good number considering how quickly this offense scored touchdowns at times last year. Quick hitter to the outside. That one's caught there by Mangrum. Breaks a couple of tackles and out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 7. Patrick Smith-Young, the North Texas transfer, in his first year at ODU, makes the hit.
Keeping on the ODU theme defensively, the goal heading to this game was, one, keep your leverage in this 3-2-6 defense. You want to keep your leverage, and then 2, make South Carolina and their redshirt freshman quarterback earn it. Don't give up the explosive plays. We're fine giving up a couple runs here or there, which they've done, but to look at the scoreboard, only 10 points given up. 7 of those were in a situation where you're back in your own 3-yard line. This defense has done a great job keeping everything in front, making them run the football, not giving up anything explosive through the air in the pass game.
Rocket Sanders with the handoff left side, trying to get a couple of yards for the first down. I think he did get enough. Brought down by Ricardo Williams. But that'll move the chains, and the clock keeps moving closer to 10 minutes here in the second quarter.
I think expectations, too. I mean, you look around the country and you see all these high-scoring games and touchdowns. This is not going to be that offense this year. For South Carolina, I like the identity of just staying committed to the run game. Use the RPOs, use the zone reads, then hopefully be able to take some shots and some confidence.
Run a little option game, and Lenore Sellers will take it, get it to midfield. Well played defensively there by Colbreth and company.
It'll be interesting, too, kind of this little intermission we had with the lightning delay. If opportunity for some of these young players, first-year starters for South Carolina offense, just to take a deep breath and refocus themselves a little bit.
Pitches it out to Joshua Simon, the tight end, and he's inside the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11. Ron Manning with another tackle.
And that's a sweet little play, just showing off the athleticism of Lenoris right there of, you got me, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to give it, I'm going to keep it, and then all of a sudden, defender comes up and he's able to get the ball around him on the quick pitch.
And Lenore Sellers just had to throw it away. Patrick Smith-Young came in there from the edge, disrupted that play. After a discussion, no flag on the play. They're going to say he was outside the tackle. No, they are going to throw the flag. They're going to say that he probably wasn't outside the tackle box. I think the ball clearly got past the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding, offense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. The down counts. It'll be second down.
See if we get a look at this. I thought he got outside the tackle box, Dave. And let's see, can he get outside the hash? I would say he throws it right there on the hash. So good call. No receiver in the vicinity of the pass. Ball does cross line of scrimmage, but does not get outside that tackle box.
Rocket Sanders stays in the game on a 2nd 21. Dump it off, sets up a screen pass. Rocket cuts it back to the middle of the field. He's back to the original line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. Koa Nauatola makes the tackle, the former walk-on out of Newport News, Virginia.
Well, this is when the helmet comes into play, the recording device, the listening device for the quarterback, because you can tell a young guy, like, listen, it is a 3rd and long situation. We're in kind of no man's land right now. We don't need to get the first down necessarily on this play. Be smart. The check down is there. So the ability of a coordinator to let a quarterback know that is invaluable at this stage of his career.
Boy, some twist up front by ODU, and that pass is dropped. Brady Hunt, usually a sure-handed tight end, a transfer from Ball State, who was a freshman All-America a couple of years ago, just dropped it.
And I think just we're seeing the replay right here, but maybe just a little bit too far. Smart decision. Good job taking the check down like we just talked about. Take the completion, see if you can get 4 or 5 yards, and then make the coach make a decision if you're going to go for it or not on 4th down. Got to catch it, but still, tight ends, fullbacks as a quarterback, you want to put it on the frame of the body of that kind of receiver.
So Kai Kroger, who averaged 43 yards a punt last year, back to punt it away for South Carolina, end over end kick that hits at the goal line and bounces into the end zone. So nothing doing for the Gamecocks on that drive. Timeout on the field, 7:49 to go before halftime. Hey, our stellar SEC football lineup rolls on tonight at 6 Eastern. SEC Network Plus. Actually, that game just getting underway. Mississippi State hosting Eastern Kentucky. Then number 6 Ole Miss hosting Furman at 7 Eastern tonight. Alabama A&M traveling to the loveliest village at 7:30 Eastern to take on the Auburn Tigers. And Kentucky hosts Southern Miss right here on the SEC Network. That game kicks at 7:45 Eastern time on an SEC Saturday night. Every game also available, you know where, over on the ESPN app. Grant Wilson, 3 of 7 for 81 yards. Has a 72-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Page, the only points on the board for Old Dominion at this point. They had a golden opportunity, had a 1st and goal at the 9, but Wilson threw an interception in the end zone. Aaron Young in at running back. Pressure comes immediately, and Wilson is dumped by Dylan Stewart, the 5-star freshman defensive end, a loss of 10. The first of many, I'm sure.
I mean, the first step off the line of scrimmage, that right tackle had 0 chance. And look at the bend, he's 6'6", 250 pounds.
Now it's 2nd down and 20. Wilson over the middle, and that one is incomplete. All 4 of our officials back into that field said the ball hit the turf. Nicky Manwari in coverage for the Gamecocks.
Nicky Manwari, the force they call him on this defense, had an opportunity to reel in the nice interception and end up taking out Dylan Stewart on this 3rd down play. Would have loved to see the young freshman be able to get another opportunity to get after the quarterback.
Come back near side. Here's Deontay Vines, who's hit immediately. He's out over the 10 to the 13-yard line, but a long way to go, and Old Dominion will have to punt it away. Debo Williams making another tackle.
Debo Williams, I mean, you just go back to the film last year, the physicality in which he plays. And talking with Clayton White, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina, they said he wants him to be more of a GPS player, to be able to diagnose what's going on in the offense, not always have to run through an offensive player to make a play, but be able to get around offensive linemen, receivers, whatever it may be, and find the ball. dissecting plays. That's the next stage of his development they're hoping to see come this season.
Jameis Hall's punt to Juju McDowell is returnable. Juju dancing around, flipped up at the 40-yard line. Short field for South Carolina after the nifty return. Ashton Whitner brings him down. South Carolina up 3 here in the second quarter.
A much anticipated debut for the Norris Sellers, the star quarterback, big, physical. Haven't really seen him get any sort of rhythm throwing the football, but my goodness, when he pulls it and runs, you're seeing design run plays. Things aren't open downfield with his 3-safety defense from ODU. His ability to be that extra runner is going to give defenses headaches all season long. To me, now the goal going forward, not only the rest of this half, but into the second half, is can he develop some chemistry with these receivers on the outside, but running the football, physical as it can be.
Jared Brown slides into the backfield. He'll get the handoff here. Coming around the edge, has a first down, runs into his own man. Angelo Rankin brings him down, but a nice pickup on first down for South Carolina. Let's go down to Ashley.
Guys, it was a quarterback competition heading into the season. Obviously, Sellers getting the nod. Asked Coach Beamer, why is he the guy, though? He said he was so level-headed. He's the same person every day, and I think us three, we can attest to that after just meeting him yesterday. Offensive coordinator Dow Loggins calling him a robot, but in the best way. Said at just 19 years old, it's a great quality to have in a QB. Also, he's been in the program now for over a year, knows the offense, and he's used to success. Led his high school South Florence to a 4A state championship his senior year.
Yeah, didn't get to play as a junior. He was banged up, so didn't have a whole lot of tape. He was committed to Syracuse, but all of a sudden he just kind of popped on the radar. His senior year started to explode, and it's rare to have a quarterback out there, and at the last minute they were able to get him to convince him that coming home, staying home.
Yeah, they saw him in a camp heading into his senior year, a camp they held here in Columbia, and just fell in love with him, but wanted to see him play some actual football, and was lucky enough to get him to decommit from the Cuse and stay home here in South Carolina.
Hand off to the left side, not much there. Jason Henderson, his first tackle tonight. Henderson and Lowry combined on that. Henderson, the young man we talked about for Old Dominion, he is chasing down the NCAA record for tackles for a career. Has a chance to get there.
Incredible story, too, for just kids at this level, that you can stick at a university. You don't have to go to a Power 4 team in order to have the story that he's been able to create.
Henderson comes on a blitz and trying to throw right over that, and it's incomplete as Lenora Sellers throws it into the grass, looking for Jared Brown.
Well, that's just chemistry right there, Dave, of two guys not on the same wavelength. Zone coverage on crossing routes, receivers taught to sit. If there's green grass man coverage, you're going to stay on the move. You're going to run. So as a quarterback, you have to anticipate, hey, there's a defender out there in the flat to that side. My receiver's going to hold up in the zone for me, present his numbers, be very friendly. And that's just going back, watching the tape, and then working on that going forward.
Alex Herrera, he hit from 40 yards. Fake field goal. Kai Kroger, the holder, lofts it up to the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, South Carolina. Brady Hunt, the tight end, hangs on. Kai Kroger is something else throwing the football. A flag, though, may nullify it.
An eligible player downfield. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, remains fourth down.
Right guard, Simpkins. Man,
what are you doing downfield?
you know it's a fake. What are we doing? And he ain't going to run it. He ain't running it. It's a pass play.
Kai Kroger in his career is 7 of 8 with 2 touchdown passes.
Okay. Sign him up, coach.
He was about to be 8 of 9 with 3, but ineligible receiver downfield, man downfield. So now it turns into a 46-yard field goal for Herrera, who hit from 40 earlier in this game. Good clean snap, hold is down. Plenty of leg. Herrera's been around this program, but had to watch guys like Parker White, Mitch Jeter, 2 of the best to ever come through here. Kicked the last 4 years, and now he gets his opportunity and starts 2 for 2.
That would have been unique, though. Kicker with the, or punter kicker with the first touchdown pass of the season. Not Lenoris, but a specialist. And we're going to take a peek and see if Simpkins was downfield at number 76. Nice fake. Yeah, he starts wandering a little bit too far. Yeah.
He wasn't even trying to get downfield.
Oh, make a move. Keep the eyes down the field. Makes a move. Little push off from Hunt. Little push off wasn't called.
South Carolina, number 40, is now 57.
So 3 on the board for the Gamecocks with 4:02 to play before halftime. That one will bounce into the end zone. Bryce Duke lets it bounce against the hedges. So Old Dominion out to the 25-yard line. Offensively, Old Dominion has racked up 77 yards, 84 of those through the air. 72 of those 84 on one play.
Yeah, one big play, one huge mistake for South Carolina defensively, letting a receiver split both safeties down the middle of the field for the touchdown pass. And other than that, this defense has done a great job of making ODU earn it. This front four, though, getting after the quarterback, not only on third down, but on first and second, being disruptive in the backfield.
Hand off to Bryce Duke. Pick up a couple of yards. Demetrius Knight Jr., the linebacker, the 6th-year player out of Locust Grove, Georgia, who transferred in from Charlotte. Quick handoff again to Duke, and he'll take it out to the 28, maybe 29-yard line.
That's going to be the big difference, too, Dave, for this defense this year. You know, they want to add depth at the front seven. The defensive line, tackles, ends, linebackers, I feel like they have that ability right now. Some young guys with a lot of talent are going to get some playing time in this game and going forward, but they can be this good this season up front. It is going to be, as a lot of people are saying, one of the better defenses in this SEC.
Third down, 4-man rush. Quick throw near side, pass caught there by Pat Conroy. He'll have the first down over the 35 to the 36. Debo Williams on the stop. No relation to the legendary South Carolina writer Pat Conroy, who wrote such great novels like The Great Santini, Lords of Discipline, Prince of Tides. Little keeper by Wilson. O'Donnell fortune.
Well, we haven't seen that much from Grant Wilson in this game, and they've done a good job of containing him in the zone read plays, but he's got some athleticism. You always got to be careful with him. He can pull one off for a long game.
I'll go with Duke again. Clock moving, 2:27. Remember, this year in college football, one of the new, I don't know if it's a rule, but it's a thing, the 2-minute timeout. Similar to what the NFL has in their 2-minute warning, but we will refer to it as a 2-minute timeout at the end of each half. Old Dominion may just let this clock go to the 2-minute timeout. That's exactly what they're going to do. So 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll step aside. South Carolina's up 6 here at home.
2-minute timeout.
Okay.
So first down catch by Isaiah Page keeps this drive alive, and just as soon as I say that, Grant Wilson is dropped back at the 40-yard line. Tonka Hemingway had a sack and a half a year ago, picks up his first of 2024.
Only a sack and a half, but 7 PBUs, pass breakups, which is crazy for that position. Super athletic basketball player, can dunk it on the best of them. Making a nice sack here in the first game of the season.
5 sacks today for South Carolina. Almost had number 6. Pass is batted away at the last moment, trying to hit Pat Conroy. Judge Collier back there in coverage from his corner position. And now it's third down and 18 for ODU.
Expect some sort of screen, run the football, draw, third and long situation. The way this offense line's been unable to protect the quarterback, get it out of his hands, protect your guy. For South Carolina, great opportunity to take a timeout and then have a 2-minute drill for your quarterback to be able to get off the field right here.
Yeah, 3 timeouts remaining for South Carolina. 3-man rush, drop at 8. Nowhere to go, that one's underneath. Only a gain of about 4 on the play to Bryce Duke, but he had to get all the way down to the South Carolina 41. South Carolina will
South Carolina
burn one of those 3 timeouts.
It will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 16 seconds. Thank you.
With halftime's coming up in 1:12. Let's get it to Dari for an update.
All right, Dave, thank you much. Yeah, coming up in just a bit on the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report, you get me, Watson, and Dory. We'll show you what's going on at the Swamp. It's not necessarily pretty for the SEC. Georgia big was pretty for the SEC. What are you seeing from the Gamecocks here so far?
Defense dominated. Yeah. A lot of defense. I was about to say 5 sacks. Defense is getting after it.
Defense is. Offense could do more. We hope to see that happen shortly here, right, Dave?
Thanks, Dari. Boys, we'll see you in a minute. I actually put 4 seconds back on the clock, so 1:16. ODU to punt it away. Hall, rush comes. Gets it away, and this will be returned by Juju McDowell, but swarmed by 3 white jerseys immediately. So South Carolina backed up. They'll spot it right at the 5-yard line. I've been better to let that one get into the end zone.
What a punt, though. With all the pressure in your face, be able to kick it, pin it inside the 5-yard line. It's an interesting situation. I think for Coach Beamer here, you have a young freshman quarterback, redshirt freshman quarterback. You've probably worked, obviously, 2-minute drill in springtime. You worked it in fall camp. And I know it's backed up, and we're in a ball game here. I think you let him loose a little bit. You want to be able to put your quarterback through these stressful situations. How do you execute a 2-minute drive, go down the field? You got 2 timeouts in your pocket. Can we get some plays going through the air as well? Build on some momentum before you get the ball to start the second half.
They're going to hand it off to Rocket Sanders. Not a whole lot of room to run off that left side. Give ODU a bunch of credit. They came in here 21-point underdogs. A revamped roster. And a couple stalwarts coming back defensively. They are only down 6 as we sit here with 36 seconds to go before halftime. Rocket Sanders stays hit at running back. 3 receivers split to the wide side of the field. Clock ticking down now to 25 seconds. And it looks as though South Carolina is going to just try to get this one to the locker room, but we will have to wait after Lenora Sellers gets tackled out of bounds. Hey, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of South Carolina's band, The Mighty Sound of the Southeast, on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming now on the ESPN app.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed, Dave. I would have loved to see you put your young quarterback through a 2-minute drive in a real game situation to see what he's able to do. I know the pass game has not been effective here in the first half, but
Sellers is brought down. That'll be enough for the first down, but I'm sure South Carolina will probably just get this one now to the locker room. Denzel Lowry picks up a late first half stop. Defensively, been very impressed with what South Carolina, other than the one big play they gave up to Isaiah Page, they have been fantastic, especially that front 6. The pressure's been fantastic, 5 sacks, but a lot to be left in the tank offensively after 30 minutes of football.
yeah, I think this is an offense that needs to continue to figure out their identity with the receiver position, Dave.
It is 13-6 here at the break. Let's send it to Dari, Chris, and Benjamin back at our Charlotte studios.
This halftime report is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Running it.
SEC football is presented by Sonic. Back inside Williams-Brice Stadium, where it is a warm, muggy afternoon. Second half football coming up in a matter of moments. Dave Neal back alongside my partner Aaron Murray. Glad you could join us today. Ashley Chalmette down on the sidelines. We will join her in a matter of moments. But Aaron, obviously not the start offensively for South Carolina. But what are your big takeaways from the first half?
Well, first off, the defense looked great. I think that's the one thing that they wanted to improve. The front seven, got after the quarterback, stopped the run. On the other side, offensively, they only one returning starter from a year ago, so a lot of new pieces, new quarterback, new receivers, working in that offensive line, and obviously a new running back in Rocket Sanders as well. So hopefully they made the adjustments. We see a little bit more explosiveness there in the second half through the passing game would be awesome. But, yeah, the offense has not been what we thought it would be through the first half of this football game, Dave.
South Carolina will get the football to start the second half. They won the opening toss and deferred, so that offense will be back on the field here in a matter of moments. Not from a statistical standpoint what you were thinking for South Carolina. 143 yards of offense, 24 yards through the air, 119 on the ground. But that defense was something now for South Carolina in the first half. They held ODU to just 97 total yards. So from a coach's perspective, what do you try to do to maybe get this pass game going? What are you looking to do? What would be the safe route to go?
Well, I think the safe route would be get your quarterback on the run, easy completions in the flat, continue to run the ball, but I just want to see you take some shots to build some confidence.
Well, here it looks like they're going to try one right out of the gates. A lot of pushing and shoving going down the field. Jared Brown, the intended target, covered back there by Rashid Reason. Oh, he did take the shot.
He took the shot, but he had another guy right wide open on a deep cross for probably about a 25-yard gain, if not more, if he catches it. So, like, that's the balance. Like, you want to take shots, but you still got to read the defense. If you got a safety drop in with a corner 2-on-1 situation, there's a wide open deep cross that would have been a chunk play for this offense to get going.
Lenore Sellers keeps it himself out over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Will Jones brings down that big frame of Lenore Sellers at 6'3", 240 pounds out of Florence, South Carolina. 7-yard pickup.
Oh, and that's something, too. If you get into these third and medium situations, I think they just got to get some completions. You look at him right now, 4 of 11, 24 yards passing. There's no rhythm between him and his receiving core or tight ends at the moment. So you just got to get some easy, quick completions.
Off to Sanders, and he will be shy of the 35. It's going to be 4th down. Jalen White-McLean steps up into that hole, and now it's 4th down, and it looks like it's going to be about a half a yard, maybe closer to a full yard, and the Gamecocks going to keep their offense out there, it appears.
I'm sure this is a little bit from, obviously, the boss man saying, we just need to get going. We cannot come out of here after halftime making adjustments, trying to get some rhythm on this side of the football, and all of a sudden go 3 and out to get things going.
Rocket Sanders in the backfield. They will hand it off to Rocket. First down and a bunch more out over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Patrick Smith-Young on that tackle. Let's go down to Ashley.
Guys, I talked to Coach Beamer right before the half, said, how can you assess your guys in the first two? He used about 5 berries before the word sloppy. He said, I love how our defense is playing. They're keeping us in it, obviously, besides that one explosive play from ODU. But he said, look, the offense, I'm very disappointed in it. It's like, can you pinpoint one thing? He said, no, everyone has a hand in it. We need to settle down this next half, execute. Said ODU will have a hard time scoring with how well our defense is playing, but we've got to give them something to help on that side. Coach Ronnie for ODU saying, we got to sustain more drives. Defensively, I like what I'm seeing. The D-line is playing physically. They maybe need to clean up a couple things technically, and of course just try to help out Grant Wilson a little bit more, give him some ground to work with.
Thanks, Ashley. That's Jared Brown down there around the midfield, the South Carolina logo. The redshirt junior, the transfer from Coastal Carolina, has 108 career receptions while at Coastal Carolina. 58 of those came last year, and well, that's one of those scenes that you don't ever like to see, a guy being escorted off with a bad limp. They were excited to get him on the field today, anxious to see what he could bring to this offense, and this is what it looked like at the end of the play.
little bit of a roll on, hopefully fine. Like you say, you go back and watch the tape, and I had an opportunity actually to cover him a couple times at Coastal Carolina, and what an athlete in space, jet sweeps, wildcat quarterback, tunnel screens, things like that. Not extremely big at a 5'11", about 190, 195, but electric with the ball in his hands.
Sellers throws it at the feet of Michael Smith, incomplete.
Not confident there, and some miscommunication. You saw Rocket Sanders almost trip his quarterback. He looked like he was a little bit confused with the protection and play call, and then Sellers going through his read, working from right to left in an all-hitch situation, and should be an easy read. Catch the ball, rip it to your best guy with off coverage.
Juju McDowell goes in motion as they hand it off to Rocket Sanders. Patrick Smith Young with another tackle. That's a gain of 4 on the play. 14 carries now for Rocket Sanders in his return. Did not participate in spring practice after recovering from shoulder surgery. Of course, had a knee surgery after the opening game last year and just never got it back together. Was never the same. Felt like it just needed a change, and he found his way to Columbia, South Carolina. Sellers goes underneath, pass caught there. Dale Von Campbell making the reception for the Gamecocks.
Similar concept they ran earlier, just your mesh concept where you have a bunch of crossing routes, and missed it earlier versus zone coverage where the receiver sat. He was expecting him to continue running. Here, man-to-man coverage does a good job getting the ball out, keeps the receiver on the move so he can turn up and get the first down.
First down and 10 from the 44 of ODU. 12 minutes to go here in the third quarter, a 13-6 ball game. South Carolina favored by 21 coming into this. They have had their hands full. Boy, nice route there by Nick Harbor, the track superstar. They're going to say he's out of bounds, though. Or are they?
No, he's out. The left foot goes down out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's another one, though, too. I mean, this is a 6'5" receiver, and a handful of times we've seen from Sellers guys that are open, and the ball is just a tad bit too high to a tight end, a couple times to Harbor. He's 6'5". You got to be able to put it down a little bit for these guys.
Sellers takes it himself. Koa Nawatola in on that tackle. South Carolina 4 of 11 on third downs today. Looking at a 3rd down and 6 coming up. They're 2 for 2 on this drive, however.
Well, they've been able to get it third in manageable situations where still there's a possibility of a run in 4-down territory. Definitely a possibility of a run here, too.
3-man rush. Sellers. Pass caught at the 22. Reception made by Van Drevius Jacobs. Patrick Smith Young, another stop. That's a gain of 18, though, moving the chains.
Well, probably the most confident I've seen him throw the football in this game. Stepped into it nicely. You're going to get your smash concept, corner control with a flat defender, and then you're going to throw it over top of that defender. Beautifully throw a ball, stepped into it nicely, and like I said, probably the most confident throw we've seen from Sellers here this afternoon.
Mazio Bennett, the freshman, goes in motion, but they'll keep it on the ground with Sanders. Cuts it back, stays on his feet, can't get through the 2nd or 3rd white jersey. He is brought down. Spot him inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Jeremy Mack finally brings him down, but Sanders, tough man to get on the turf.
Well, they said they wanted to knock the rust off. They didn't play a lot last year. They didn't participate in spring like you alluded to. And the thing that I love, he stayed in May to rehab, but also work with this offensive line a little bit as well.
Jason Henderson, back-to-back years, leading the country in tackles per game, back on the field. The All-American linebacker, 42 in the middle of that defense on a 2nd down and 7. Sellers makes one-man miss, being chased by Henderson, gets around him, first down. Out of bounds at the 10-yard line, a gain of 9.
Well, This is the speed right here. You're going against the guy who led the country in tackles per game last year. 14.2 one-on-one in the open field. Gives him a little dead leg. Gets to the outside to get the first down. That's the hard part because you can't run at him full speed because he is so big, and you see the elusiveness as well to go along with it.
Handoff Sanders. He is hit by Jason Henderson. Let me tell you something. I had a chance to go on the field today and talk to Jason Henderson before the game today. It was hard to talk to him. You want to talk about a physical specimen? I mean, he's got anaconda for arms. You're not getting out of that.
Yeah.
A chance to be the NCAA all-time tackle leaders. Needs 142 for the record. He's had a season of 186 and a season of 170, so it is an option. Oscar Attaway in at running back. Brady Hunt goes in motion. They'll hand it off, and nowhere to run for Attaway. Cole Daniels this time, getting in the backfield, disrupting things for the Monarchs.
That's a great job by big number 99 getting in the backfield. That's not the quarterback's read key. He's running the defensive end on the outside, and Cole Daniels makes it easy. Be disruptive there. Nothing you can do as a quarterback. Your read key goes to the outside. You got to give the ball. Cole Daniels does a great job getting around the offensive line to get the tackle in the backfield. And this is a tricky situation. 3rd and 10, 10-yard line in the red zone. Got to be real careful. You want to walk away with points here if you're South Carolina.
15th play of the drive. And it'll be a sack drop back at the 17, Mario Thompson. The sophomore out of Richmond, Virginia, wrestling Lenora Sellers to the turf.
Well, Casey Henry, the right tackle, needs to go out. You see the right guard moving to get the defensive end. He needs to push out to get Mario Thompson on the outside. He doesn't do so. Free lane to the quarterback. Not much you can do right there. Not given any time to be able to push the ball down the field and try to get in the end zone.
So again, Alex Herrera steps onto the field. Another kick that is solid through the uprights, 33 yards out. And that'll split the uprights. A 16-7 ball game here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Dorian O'Kay in studio. It is time for Expert Moves, brought to you by Principal. And if that's not an expert move, I don't know what is. The second one in his career that looks just like that. Malachi Stark's Georgia Bulldogs in a rout of the Clemson Tigers. All dogs in Atlanta, guys.
Yeah, Dorian. Aaron and I have been talking about it. Like, it's hard to quantify. Like, is Georgia that good and Clemson has fallen that far? I mean,
I don't think Clemson's fallen that far.
Georgia's just that good.
I think Georgia's that good, but Clemson's offense is been somewhat of a struggle bus for the past few years to just not hit on these quarterbacks, unfortunately.
Hey, Read and React with Cole Kubelik and Roman Harper is back for yet another year. Each week they'll take a look back at the biggest plays, players, and games from the weekend. Boy, a lot to digest after this week one. Season premieres Monday night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on this very network. We like to call it the SEC Network, and of course you can always find it on the ESPN app. So Old Dominion, certainly not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Their offense just has to pick up some first downs. They got to get back. They can't keep their defense on the field as much as they have been of late. Aaron Young in the backfield on 1st down and 10. Hand off to the right side will get a few yards. Nicky Manwari.
Well, Dave, they got to be better on 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we started a drive and it's a sack, tackle for loss, and you're behind the chains against this defensive line that is dominating right now?
Wilson. Flag comes out in the backfield, and I believe it's going to be a hold back there. Boy, the way that Kyle Kennard got up, he was looking around going, did you not see that?
Tell you what, this whole defensive line has played well, but the 2 additions
Holding
this offseason.
Offense, number 58. The penalty is declined. It'll be 3rd down.
Kyle Kennard from Georgia Tech, and then Dylan Stewart, the 5-star freshman. Those 2 guys have made immediate impacts already here for South Carolina.
They declined that penalty, so it's 3rd down and 7. Aaron Young in the backfield. alongside Grant Wilson. Page goes in motion to the wide side. They will go to the hash mark, and that's a first down catch made by Miles Austin, his second year with ODU. A former Pitt Panther picks up 18.
Well, that's a great job by Grant Wilson, sitting in there, getting hit right in the chops, and just a miscommunication on the backfield with the motion. Both defenders kind of playing outside leverage. No one taking the inside receiver down the middle of the field, wide open for the first down completion.
They'll stack a couple of receivers wide to each side. Aaron Young in the backfield. They'll hand it to him. He gets close to midfield and will power his way into South Carolina territory for a pickup of 5. Debo Williams with a stop there. Debo, the senior out of Smyrna High School in Delaware. 113 stops last year. This pass is, they're going to say catch. Yeah, forward progress. They're going to spot him down to the 39. Not only did he catch it, got an extra 4 yards out of that.
Miles Austin, Mr. Go-to receiver on this drive. See if they can wear down this defense a little bit.
4-man rush. Wilson. Pass incomplete. Looking for Deontay Vines. Nick Van Worry back there in coverage.
Dave, you said it. They need to get moving the football a little bit. And I would say Grant Wilson right now looks to be a little bit more rhythm at the moment. Ball's coming out. And I think you're going to be on more rhythm when you get hit as much as he got hit to start this football game. You're going to hit that back foot, take a quick hitch. Ball's coming out now. You start to feel that pressure. And the fact that he's throwing it with as much confidence as he has on this drive with the amount of time that he has been hit.
On second down, they'll hand it off. Aaron Young again. Aaron, the senior, transferred in from Rutgers, his 6th year overall, but his first with the Monarchs. Kyle Kennard gets credit for the tackle. Aaron Young, brother, former ODU linebacker Jordan Young. Dad also played some college ball. He was a 3rd-round pick of the Colts as well. That one's batted away. Nice job to avoid any contact by Jalen Kilgore as they were trying to hit Isaiah Page.
It's a great job. Outside leverage, he reads it perfectly, anticipating the inside slant and just jumps all over it. Ball is accurate, good route, but just better defense by Kilgore. The little man coverage inside, outside leverage with inside support, anticipating the route and jumping all over it to create this 4th down situation now.
Yeah, Old Dominion not very good on 4th downs last year. They were 7 for 26. Started the year 0 for 9. It is 4th down and 7. South Carolina bringing the heat. Wilson sees it, feels it, first down. He's to the 20, down to the 10. He dives for the goal line. Touchdown, ODU. 36 yards for Grant Wilson.
Hey, you're going to bring the house. No one to account for the quarterback. Great job by the offensive line picking up the blitz. And then we've talked about Wilson's ability to run the football and a little shimmy in the open field. And we're going to get probably a couple more views to see if he crossed the plane to get the touchdown. Knee is up. I think that's a touchdown, Dave. I think he's in.
Yeah.
They're looking at it right now, but knees up, balls across.
I think you got to give him the touchdown. Ruled a touchdown. Boy, just a savvy play by Grant Wilson, though.
Well, it's just recognizing coverage, knowing that, hey, you're going to bring 6 defenders. If we can pick this up, you're playing man-to-man with a single high safety. There is no low-hole rat defender that's watching the quarterback.
And it is a touchdown. Here comes the point after. Ethan Sanchez trying to make this a 2-point game. Clean snap, kick is on the way, and it is no good. Boy, in their bowl game that they lost to Western Kentucky, had a couple of kicks blocked that perhaps cost him that game. But this, though, keeps him in the game. Grant Wilson goes 36 yards to the end zone. 16-13. Monarchs in this one in the third quarter.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
The new 12-team college football playoff. Good news for my Seminoles after getting thumped pretty good by Georgia Tech that it's a long season, and now you actually have 12 spots to get into the postseason. So all is not lost, Seminole Nation. But here, South Carolina trying to hang on. Old Dominion has cut this to 3. Remember, this is a team last year that played 11 one-score games, went 6-5 in those games. That was an NCAA record. 6 went down to the final play. The last 3 games came down to the final play and got him into the bowl game. Juju McDowell, flag comes out. Juju dropped around the 27, 28-yard line.
So you're trying to say they know how to play close games, Dave.
That's what they do.
They know how to play.
That's just what they do at ODU.
Holding. Return team number 27. The penalty being enforced half the distance of the goal. First down, South Carolina.
Well, it's a new batch of players here for OD because they have 57 new players on the roster, 28 transfers. So they are keeping with the tradition of close football games as of right now, only being down 3 points here against South Carolina, and they've done what they need to do on defense. They've given up yards at times, especially on the ground, but haven't given up touchdowns besides the first drive where South Carolina only had 3 yards to go to get in the end zone. It's been that bend but don't break. Very disciplined, stay in your lanes.
Lenoris Sellers, 6 of 15 for 48 yards. He will hand it off here to Rocket Sanders. Boy, and there's some juice on that ODU sideline right now. Mario Easterly blowing up that play, loss of 2.
Yeah, Jamez Drummer, number 32, doing a great job of making Rocket move side to side instead of getting north and south downhill once he got the ball from Lenoris. And that's the one thing with this defense is 3-2-6. Once you get a guy moving east and west instead of north and south, those safeties are so aggressive to fill downfield along with those linebackers.
Here's Rocket Sanders, first down to the 25-yard line. On a 2nd and 12, picks up 20. Will Jones, Jason Henderson finally getting him to the turf, and there's Henderson slow to get up.
That's the one thing, if Rocket does get downfield
for an injury,
he's going to rumble and stumble his way to a first down, and we'll check and see how Jason Henderson's doing, number 42 there.
Well, when he goes to the ground, you get concerned after a devastating knee injury. But it looks like that's just possibly a cramp. Jog it off. I asked him before the game, there was some concern whether or not he'd play today just because he's physically still not 100%. And he looked at me like I was crazy.
He looked like he wanted to hit you probably.
Yeah, let's just say
like walk away fast.
I'll say this, that conversation did not last very long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great guy. I mean, he was actually sincere. We talked for a little bit. Just a heck of a football player. I mean, really one of the, I guess, unsung stalwarts of college football that you just don't talk a lot about. Nice patience, gets it to Vandrevius. Jacobs breaks a tackle inside the 35. Jacobs, oh, so close to getting that one to the end zone. Pick up a 41 yards.
And there's an accurate pass from Sellers. A couple of those have been high with receivers having to jump. And this is the good thing. When you put it on the receiver's body, extend the play, no one's open, move. Find him and just put it on his body. Look at the separation, then they give the receiver to go run down the field.
Oh, nice little stutter step. And Sellers will throw that one away. Koa Nawatala chasing him down. Koa came in to replace Jason Henderson.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Gamecocks now up to 263 yards of offense. Clock sits at 3:01 to go here in the third quarter. Sanders looking for a little bit of a hole there. Jaleel Colbreth comes up to trip him up.
Then Manning to number 5, linebacker body. So when you get this 3 safety defense, usually that middle safety kind of built like a linebacker, a little bit more speed, but he's that hybrid guy that can play in space, that can get into coverage, but also can fly downhill to fill gaps in the run game as well, and just a flying missile down on that play to assist with the tackle.
Play clock at 7. Lenora Sellers barking out some directions to his club. Pressure comes. Sellers dodges a couple of guys and throws that one away. Was he outside the tackle box? I know it clearly went past the line of scrimmage. First one there was Chris Trinidad. Then Colbreth came in to put the hit on him.
It's always tough that they bring that double-A pressure, so they're going to line up both linebackers on the A gap. And if you choose the wrong direction, someone's going to come free off that pass protection, and shows the athleticism of Sellers being able to elude that first guy. But still, another drive where this South Carolina team, they move the ball effectively, Dave, but then they just can't find a way to be able to put the ball in the end zone, unfortunately.
This will be a 48-yarder now for Alex Herrera, who has already hit 3 field goals, looking for number 4, and it is no good. So no points on the board for South Carolina with 2 minutes and change on the clock here in the third quarter. ODU hanging tough here on the road against the South Carolina Gamecocks. .203 to go in the third quarter. South Carolina just misses a 48-yard field goal. Old Dominion now with the football, down 3. Grant Wilson running the show. Pat Conroy, the tight end, goes in motion. They'll hand it off, or excuse me, fake the handoff to Bryce Duke as Wilson takes it around the edge, and boy, he gets his face mask. Looks like he may have fallen on the football as well. He'll hop up and try to shake that off. Gilbert Edmond, senior out of Fort Pierce, Florida. Started here at South Carolina, went to Florida State, now back with the Gamecocks. Throws that one out of bounds. I think Grant Wilson's ready to take I think he's ready to take a little breather.
An ice bath? Massage?
Yeah. He has been hit and hit and hit today.
Well, I mean, listen, he's used to it. He's used to it, that's for sure. Last season, 61 sacks allowed.
50 of them. 50 of them against him.
Yeah, 50 of them. It's a lot of sacks. I know it's a team game, but tonight it's been mostly in the offensive line, not protecting their quarterback, unfortunately.
Transfer from Fordham. Spent 3 years there as a backup. Bet on himself to come to the FBS level. Won the starting job last year and has it again here in 2024. Nice throw to the outside, Isaiah Page, and a flag comes in at the end of that play. They'll spot him at the 45-yard line, a pickup of 13 and maybe more, depending on the flag.
Perfect timing, perfect ball placement as well from Grant Wilson out to Page.
Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Right now, these last 2 possessions, this ODU offense doing a great job on third down, finding ways to convert to get the first down. And I don't know if I see the face mask. I know he grabbed around the helmet. Another 15 yards tacked on top of it.
So first down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Bryce Duke comes in motion. Wilson looks right, tucks it, now lofts it up to Duke, who makes the catch, cuts it back to the 25. Or excuse me, that's Pat Conroy, the tight end, the transfer from FCS Merrimack. It'll be a first down.
That's a great job maneuvering around. Obviously, he's got eyes in the back of his head with all the pressure he's had in this game, doing a great job creating something out of nothing.
Inside handoff to the 23-yard line.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we look up right now. We're getting towards the end of the third quarter. 16-13, ODU creeping up inside, close to the red zone right now.
Little shoulder fake. Well, good job by South Carolina to pin those receivers. Miles Alston was the intended target, but couldn't get any separation.
Yeah, they were trying to do a little pump fake, like they're going to throw a screen or a hitch to the outside, 1 to 2. Like you said, Dave, great job defensively. Those defensive backs staying on top of the receivers, not biting on the pump fake. Let's see if they can get off the field here. Some pressure from these defensive ends. They got their 2 studs in there, Stewart and Kennard, on opposite sides.
A freshman and a 5th-year senior on the edge for South Carolina. What quick throw, a little too hot to handle, trying to hit Page with it. Now it's 4th down. And here comes the kicking unit.
Well, that was Debo Williams. We talked about him needing to be a GPS player, a guy that recognizes, based on film, what the team wants to do, runs under that, really throwing off the lane for the quarterback. And still a situation right here where you could tie up this ball game as we get ready to go in the 4th quarter.
So Ethan Sanchez, 3rd-year kicking for Old Dominion. Career 24 out of 34. Got an extra point blocked earlier today. This will be a 40-yard kick. Had a 49-yarder against Wake Forest last year. A little low snap, but the kick is on the way, and it is dead solid, perfect. And guess what, folks? We have ourselves a tie ball game here with 14 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, tonight, SEC football final is back for another season with Dari, Chris, and Benjamin. We'll take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the games. 11 Eastern, 10 Central, right here on the SEC Network and, of course, the ESPN app. Ricky Ronnie's team played a bunch of these games a year ago, albeit the lineup, about half of them have been turned over. But this is what ODU did a year ago. Ricky Ronnie's been here before. He was an assistant coach with James Franklin at Vanderbilt. So came here with the Commodores. Also went with James Franklin to Penn State, was a quarterback coach there, then became the OC before getting the ODU job. They came in here as 21-point underdogs and tied at 16 late in the 3rd quarter. We had a 45-minute lightning delay with about 11 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Just kind of slowed things down a bit. Had a full house when we started. It's about half full now. Juju McDowell back to return this kick. It'll be about 6 or 7 yards deep, and he's going to bring it out. Juju to the far sideline. Flipped up in the air around the 22-yard line. Only 2 seconds came off the clock.
One thing we have not seen from this offense, they get ready to take the field here to end this 3rd quarter. 16-16 ODU on the road for South Carolina. We have not seen any real explosive plays. I mean, a couple here or there where Sellers is able to get outside the pocket. Maybe that's what's going to have to be him being an athlete, getting outside the pocket, giving his receivers a split second longer to find somewhere open down the field. But the traditional drop back pass, throw the ball down the field, something we saw from this offense last year, has just not been available so far through the first 3 quarters.
Sellers, another low throw. Trying to hit Joshua Simon, but it was on his shoestrings, and that'll be incomplete.
Well, I say that, and they dialed it up, a double post situation right there. Nick Harbor, the track star, one-on-one on a post route, and he had the DB. He is on top of him. This is a situation where you got a 6'5" guy that's training for the Olympics, one-on-one on the outside. You just heave that ball as far as you can and hope he comes down with it. Those are the shots you got to learn how to take.
Trying to stretch it here to the near side. Rocket Sanders, nowhere to run. Angelo Rankin Jr. making a nice play defensively, and we have played 3 quarters here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Old Dominion hanging tough. First ever meeting with South Carolina. It's all square at 16 apiece. 15 more minutes or more. SEC football is presented by Sonic. We are tied at 16, Old Dominion and South Carolina, as we get set for the final 15, unless we have to play some extra football like they did in Nashville earlier today. Kudos to the Commodores and Clark Lee, who took over that defense as they take down Virginia Tech. Rocket Sanders in the backfield. Mazio Bennett Jr. comes in motion, sets up in the slot near side. 4-man rush for Old Dominion, and there is Mazio Bennett, freshman out of Greenville, South Carolina. Hit by Will Jones. That'll be pickup of 10 yards, so it'll be 4th down, and here comes the punting unit.
You hate to put all the pressure on the freshman and Mazio Bennett, but he's a guy that had a great spring, high hopes for him, great athlete, not elite top-end speed, but someone that you may have to ask a lot more of just because we haven't seen anyone else really make a play yet offensively on the outside throughout this ball game.
That punt is blocked, tipped, and taking a South Carolina roll and then scooped up at the 42-yard line. So Old Dominion will have it. Guy Kroger. Boy, just a big hole on the right side of that line.
Marcus Knight, number 29, getting in there. Usually you don't see teams making special teams plays against Beamer and Beamer ball on that side. All of a sudden, you have an offense that's done a great job moving the ball. Touchdown, field goal, last couple possessions.
I will say this about Old Dominion. They blocked 12 kicks. Tied for the second most over the last 3 years. Who has the most? South Carolina. So kind of right back at you. Grant Wilson under center on this 4th quarter drive. For more on his story, let's go down to Ashley.
Well, Dave, you talked about Grant's ride to get here to Old Dominion. He transferred from Fordham, and he kind of bet on himself, but he also came here because his relationship with offensive coordinator Kevin Decker. He went to Fordham initially because of Decker's offense, that it was really new day type of age offense he was running, wanted to be a part of it, and then he followed him to Old Dominion. He also talked about the adversity he faced last year. He got benched midway through the season, and he became more motivated than ever. When I talked to him early this week about it, he said, there is nothing more that I want to do than play quarterback at a high level. So last year when I did get benched, it just pushed me to work harder, watch more film, be more motivated. Said it was kind of a blessing in disguise, even though at the time I felt like the world was ending, guys.
Well, he becomes just the first Old Dominion quarterback to start a season opener in back-to-back seasons since Taylor Heineke did it back in 13 and 14.
Well, he talked about just the better communication the coaching has had with them, his comfort level as a leader, telling the coaches what he likes, what he doesn't like, knowing the system. He's had a really good second half here, converting more on 3rd downs once again for this offense.
1st down and 10 at the 44 of South Carolina. Aaron Young in the backfield. They'll hand it to him off the left side. Keeps those legs moving and picks up 7 yards on the play. DQ Smith brings him down. But a pickup of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. Quick snap coming near side, looking for Page, and he is hit immediately by Nick Emanuari. Isaiah Page, by the way, now with over 100 yards receiving, his first career 100-yard game. He led the team last year with 43 catches.
Right now I see a lot of hands on hips for defenders. Guys look a little tired. They haven't been on the field much.
For an injured player.
ODU heading in this possession, only 15 minutes of possession to South Carolina's 30 minutes. So this defense has had plenty of time on the sideline to make sure they're ready to go.
That's Dylan Stewart down on the turf for South Carolina. We'll step aside. Back in a moment.
All right, so the bright spot for South Carolina has been this defense. They've been able to get after the quarterback the majority of the night. It started with the first possession, the interception for the easy touchdown right afterwards, but the front four, which they wanted to get bigger at and more dominant, they've been able to do that. That nice interception as well. But it's been really good to see the 5-star defensive end, Dylan Stewart, along with a transfer from Georgia Tech, Kyle Kennard, getting after the quarterback as well. And right now, 16-16, this defense line's going to have to continue to play big.
Third down. Wilson keeps it first down to the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 8. In the first half, Old Dominion only had 97 yards of offense. Third quarter, 107. And they're driving again here to start the fourth quarter. Wilson. Incomplete.
Well, the third down success is completely flipped from where they were in the first quarter to here in the first half to second half right now, and it's not easy third down conversions either. You know, we're seeing them convert from 3rd and 5 to 10. Anywhere in that region, it's been Wilson throwing the ball and running it as well. Had a great second half right now for number 7 at the quarterback position for ODU.
Wilson, 14 of 27, 164 through the air. On second down, they'll hand it off to Aaron Young, and take it close to the 20-yard line. Gilbert Edmond, first one there for South Carolina.
Right now, I mean, I just talked about this defensive line and how dominant they were. At the moment, ODU's being the aggressors running the football.
Quick throw back, missed tackle, and a big collision, but it might be good enough for the first down. Deontay Vines, the Iowa transfer, first year here at Old Dominion. O'Donnell Fortune missed him right out of the gate. Excuse me, Nicky Manwari was the one over there.
Yeah, great job coming downhill. Just unable to make the tackle. And it's so funny coming from the Iowa offense, just amazed with the ability to actually throw the ball and make plays on the outside coming to this ODU offense from where he was.
They didn't know what they had in Deontay Vines.
No idea.
Inside handoff to Aaron Young. He has stood up on first down. You know, we were talking about some of those tough losses, like the bowl game last year for Old Dominion, but those close games that they played all year, they went 6-5 in them, and we were talking to Ricky Ronnie about that, and he said, you know, we could talk about the losses, but I'm more proud of the fact that we won 6 of those and showed the fortitude to hang in there when it didn't look our way. Flag comes out to the end zone, and that one is incomplete. Looks like that's going to go against
15 offense, 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
Well, you got to expect now, too, for Old Dominion and Grant Wilson, you're kind of on somewhat fringe field goal range at the moment. Second and long situation. Yeah, this is when you get into the quarterback's ears and say, hey, listen, a field goal gets us the lead right now. Like, we cannot go backwards and get out of field goal range. And I would kind of expect South Carolina, what they should do is bring some pressure to try to knock them out of field goal range and make it a third and even longer situation. You got to sell out at some point here, either next down or this down or the next.
Bryce Duke in the backfield now, 2nd and 20. Little handoff to Duke, has some running room. He is inside the 20. He'll get it down to the 17-yard line. Nicky Manwari trips him up, but a gain of 12. They got a manageable third down.
Well, it's just it's a 5-man box defensively, and a great job by Barley, the left guard. Zach Barley, number 64, working his way up to that single linebacker. I mean, that's an easy read. 5 guys in the box, 5 offensive linemen. Easy handoff in a second long situation where I think you should know they're probably going to try to run the football and stay in field goal range.
Wilson looking to the corner of the end zone, and that one's incomplete. Looking for Isaiah Page. Jalen Kilgore back there in coverage, and here comes the kicking team.
Yeah, it's just a tough matchup. You got a 5'8 receiver in Isaiah Page going against Kilgore, who's 6'2", 220, on an inside fade, and you can see the height difference and size difference right there on the video. It's hard to give your guy an opportunity to win a one-on-one ball when there's 6 inches of difference between the two guys.
So Ethan Sanchez, the junior out of Dallas, Georgia. This will be from 33 yards. That kick is a line drive, but gets through.
I think he got tipped. I think he got nicked, Dave, again.
It just did get over the crossbar, and that's 3 on the board, and Old Dominion has rallied back to take the lead.
The thing.
SEC Network Football is presented by the all-new Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
Opening day of 2024 for the South Carolina Gamecocks has not gone as they had anticipated. South Carolina, their last 52 non-conference games, they're 42-15, but 8 of those 15 losses have come to Clemson. Ricky Ronnie all smiles right now. Not so much over on the South Carolina side of things as they trail by 3. Luke Doty back there to return this, along with Juju McDowell, who's going to have a chance to field it inside the 10. Juju cuts it back. Juju out over the 25 to the 28-yard line. Flag back, though. Flag down right around the opposite end of the field, around the 38-yard line.
Hey, we got ourselves a ball game.
Yes, we do.
Woo! Hey, you want to find out about your young quarterback?
Offsides, kicking team, number 86. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. First down, South Carolina.
You want to find out about your young quarterback? Put him down 3 points first game of his career and see what he can do.
Ricky Ronnie, though, is not afraid to play some big boys in his opener. Matter of fact, just go back to the 22 season. If you'll recall, they knocked off Virginia Tech in a real shocker. Trying to do the same here at South Carolina. We'll see. 9:46 to play. Sellers, little pitch to Mazio Bennett Jr. He's out over the 40, the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 8 on the play.
I know a lot of people want to see Nick Harbor get involved in this offense, and you got that track speed. You'd love to see just somehow get him a ball, jet sweep, screen, something. See what we can do in the open field.
Sanders fighting his way toward midfield. He'll have enough for the first down. Mark him at the 48. Jaleel Colbreth pushes him out of bounds. Gain of 6.
You got to start finding, like, who are my athletes, who are my guys that we can just, when we're down, who are we going to feed the football to? And right now it's pretty much just, Sellers and Rocket.
Sanders makes a man miss in the backfield, but just got back to the line of scrimmage. Angelo Rankin able to clean that one up.
If I'm this defense, you're seeing the aggressiveness from the second and third levels, from the linebackers, from the safeties, and if they're having success, until you really threaten them down the field, these guys will continue to make life very difficult for this offense line and run game where they're not popping off longer and longer runs like we saw earlier.
Gets it outside to Michael Smith, trying to turn the corner to the 45 of ODU. Mario Thompson, Jason Henderson verge for that stop, but it's third down now and about 3.5 to go for South Carolina. Sanders scoots to the left of Lenore Sellers. 3-man rush. Steps up in the pocket, going up top. Pass is incomplete. He was trying to hit Jacobs. And a collision with a camera woman down there. Looks like she's okay.
I think we might get defensive holding away from the pass, but that's another one too. You got 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. You have a 5-yard out route.
It'll be 4th down.
No penalty. You have a 5-yard out route to get the first down. You put it on the body of the receiver, it's a first down. Instead, you're going for the shot down the field. So situational football is something that takes time for everyone to learn. And right there, you have to understand you're working that low to high on the read on the smash concept. If my number one's there wide open for a first down, you take it.
Well, here's a big play in this ball game with 7:59 to go. South Carolina going to push the envelope and go for it on fourth down. They're 2 out of 2 tonight, and a flag comes in. Boy, fourth down and 3 is going to turn into fourth down and 8.
That's the freshman.
Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, remains fourth down.
Boy, they're super talented. True freshman left tackle, Josiah Thompson. South Carolina's Mr. Football.
Now they take him out of an opportunity to go for it on fourth down. And young freshman's had a good game, just a little bit too trigger happy there, moving back just a hair. Like I said, now all of a sudden you got to punt the football, and your defense, based on the last possession, seemed a little winded going against ODU's offense.
Page back to return this. Kai Kroger punt. Fair catch called for at the 10-yard line. Old Dominion leads it by 3. They have the football. Back in a moment. SEC now has you covered tomorrow night before and after number 13 LSU takes on 23rd ranked Southern Cal on ABC and the ESPN app. They'll get you set for the 60-minute pregame show at 6:30 Eastern, then a full postgame show after it's over. Highlights and complete breakdown. It's coverage you can only get right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. You look at our game summary. Look, Old Dominion 2-15 against Power 4 teams. Both those wins over Virginia Tech. They're 0-1 against SEC teams as they played Vanderbilt in 2014 and lost that one. Is there a loose football in the deck? Kyle Kennard was the first Gamecock there, but I think Old Dominion has the ball. Yes, Grant Wilson on top of it. A loss of 3.
Kyle Kennard said enough is enough of the zone read. I'm just going to attack the mesh point. I'm going to take the running back and be athletic enough to then go take the quarterback on top of it. Not much you could do, just protect the ball better.
Second down and long. They got to get it out over the 20-yard line for a first down. Clock moving towards 7 minutes to play. And a flag comes out. False start against ODU. Boy, they had that offensive line down in their stance for a long time.
Offense, number 51. 5-yard, half the distance to the goal, remains second down.
It's interesting. This is an offense that's moved the ball well this half. Found a way to take the lead, but now all of a sudden you look up, you're winning. How do you react? You're on the road. Probably didn't expect to be in this situation. The nerves start to get a little bit too high for you, and now South Carolina has an opportunity to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback this second and long situation.
Stack some receivers to the near side. 5 out. Loose football. It's on the turf. South Carolina has it. DeAndre Jules comes up with the football at the most opportune time here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, he just fumbled it previously, and then I believe it's the true freshman with the punch out, Dylan Stewart, number 6. Made some great plays so far this game, and not one bigger than that right there to punch the ball out to get their offense the ball back right at the 6-yard line.
You said it, back-to-back plays where he lost the handle of the football, but that one's super costly. It'll be first and goal for South Carolina. Rocket Sanders in the backfield with Lenore Sellers. It's Rocket. He's inside the 5, down to the 4. Koa. Now Atola with the tackle. Six and a half to play. Both teams with a full allotment of timeouts, plus we have the newly installed 2-minute timeout in college football. Here's Sellers, touchdown! South Carolina has the lead.
This defense once again coming up big, giving their offense an opportunity to be inside the 10-yard line, and they take advantage. First possession of the game, push it in from 3 yards out after a few plays. This one, get it at the 6-yard line. Couple plays later, Sellers finds a way to get in the end zone to retake the lead for South Carolina.
Alex Herrera, point after. It is up and good. It is a 4-point South Carolina lead. 6:11 to play in this one.
You're going to get your triple option, can hand it to the back, defensive end chills. Then you see the flat control run out with the receiver. So option 2 is out the window at that point, and then option 3 is, hey, I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. I see the end zone. I got to figure out a way to get in there. Great decision from the young quarterback.
Lenore Sellers led South Florence High School to a state title a couple of years ago. Threw for 3,000 yards and 45 touchdowns.
Now wearing number 57 for South Carolina.
He had those 45 touchdowns and 3,000 yards and only threw 2 interceptions as a high school senior. How about that touchdown to interception ratio? Throw on the fact that he rushed for 1,300 yards with 22 scores on the ground, averaged almost 10 yards a carry. That's not going to translate to the Southeastern Conference, but you can get a glimpse of how good he could be.
Yeah, and we showed the highlight package to start the game. I mean, there's definitely some moments of greatness last year. There's been a couple really good moments here, and we said it coming out of halftime, Dave. This is an offense that has 1 returning starter. Bunch of new receivers. You're replacing 4 of your top 5 receivers. Offensive line's got a mismatch and working its identity. New running back, a quarterback that just turned 19 years old only a few months ago. Like, the thought that this was just going to be a perfect night one was a little naive, regardless of who the opponent is. They had a scratch and claw. They still got a scratch and claw. Only up 4 points here. Plenty of time for ODU.
Returnable. Justin McKitchen trying to find some room, and there isn't any. Dropped inside the 10-yard line. Gamecocks with a little juice on that sideline. Buddy Mack third with a big tackle on special teams. Again, Old Dominion has all 3 timeouts remaining plus the 2-minute timeout, but they are backed up. Grant Wilson, 15 of 29, 166 yards. Quick slant. Pass is caught at the 12 by Deontay Vines, but he's quickly thrown to the turf. Gain of about 4 on the play.
They've had success with this off coverage, quick throws to the outside, not easy throws for a quarterback. But when he's been on time in rhythm, he's been pretty accurate here in the second half. Just got to protect the football when contact is imminent from this defensive line.
That handoff goes to Aaron Young. Young with his 13th carry, up over 40 yards. TJ Sanders on the tackle, gain of 4. So 3rd down and a couple of yards. They will bring in the tight end Pat Conroy. They're also running back Aaron Young. Now they flip Conroy to the near side. Page coming to the slot. High throw, it's going to be close. Miles Austin with the catch. Need to get it to about the 18, maybe 18.5 yard line. They're spotting it right. Oh, that's going to be close. That is really close.
Timeout for an injured player.
They're going to give him the first down.
I'm surprised they're not going to measure that one. I thought you would at least measure it to see. I think it's definitely going to be one that if it's a first, it's by the nose of the football.
That's Dylan Stewart on the ground, by the way. Young man from up in Washington, D.C., the true freshman who burst onto this South Carolina campus. And everybody took notice of just how talented he is.
I don't even know if the ball got... Yeah, I think that's a good spot. I think it's about at the 18 and a half yard line. Nice hands catch there for Miles Alston, who's had a great second half.
Austin with 5 catches for 40 yards. Isaiah Page 5 catches for 100 yards, including the 72-yarder. That was, by the way, the second longest play in Old Dominion history against a Power 4 opponent since they started FBS football back in 2013. A good sign to see Dylan Stewart walking off under his own power, the 5-star.
I remember another defensive end at South Carolina that looked just like that I had to go up a few times against. And oof, he's...
Last name Clowney?
Yeah, that last name Clowney. Yeah. He was a terror too.
Aaron Young in the backfield on 1st down and 10. Isaiah Page breaks a tackle to the 26-yard line.
That's Mr. Consistent right there. 43 catches, 445 yards, a couple touchdowns last season. Does all the little things right.
On 2nd down, they'll go with Aaron Young again. And it'll be 3rd down and a couple now. 3rd down and a long 1, short 2 for the Monarchs. Pressure comes. Wilson throws as he hits the deck, and that one is incomplete. Miles Alston couldn't hang on, and now it's 4th and 1 with under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, great job, TJ Sanders putting the pressure there. Maybe the best defensive tackle here for South Carolina, forcing Wilson off his spot. And then the tight man-to-man coverage on the back end.
They're going to punt it away on 4th and about 1.5 yards.
Their defense has played well this half. I don't hate this decision right now. You got 3 timeouts. You have the 2-minute timeout as well.
Jameis Hall, high kick, fair catch called for back at the 28-yard line. So now Old Dominion defense going to have to play its biggest possession of the night. Time to take a look at the Saturday MVP brought to you by Sports Clip. And this was a huge play in the game. A turnover that creates some points.
Yeah, and I think the young freshman Dylan Stewart is definitely impressed for his first game. And then off of that, the other first-year starter, the Norris Sellers, taking advantage of the short field to get in the end zone.
Look, Old Dominion's coughed it up twice inside the 10-yard line. That resulted in touchdowns for South Carolina, the first possession of the game.
The defense for ODU's done great. They haven't given up the explosive plays. They forced South Carolina to drive the field, which is going back to punt or no punt in that situation. I like the punt right there, just because you have to trust your defense, who has been pretty darn good throughout this ball game.
Sellers pushed out of bounds by Rashid Reason. Clock will continue to move until we get under 2 minutes, and then it'll stop when you run out of bounds. 2nd down and 4.
We talk about those 3 safeties deep for Old Dominion. Those guys are creeping within 7 to 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. Downhill, sell out to the run. And right now, if I'm South Carolina, I don't know if I have confidence to even try and throw the football. Maybe if you want to get Sellers on the run on the outside.
They'll hand it off to Sanders. not going to be near the first down line at the 39. They'll drop him just over the 35-yard line. Timeout taken by Old Dominion with 3:01
Please reset the
to
game
play in
clock
this one.
to 3 minutes, 4 seconds. Thank you.
Shane Beamer goes out and he just roots his tail off and did it again this year. Another top 20 class for him, but tell you what, you may be in the top 20, but you might not be in the top 10 in your own league.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, everyone in the SEC seems like is in the top 20, and you have two of the best ones in Georgia and Alabama and Texas A&M, and man, the list goes on and on and on. So yeah, you may be 20, but that's bottom half of your own conference. That's the problem. Everyone wants a piece of the SEC.
He's got some freshmen, though, that he's throwing out there. He's excited about this young group he brought in. There was a chance that as many as 11 true freshmen could have played today. I think we've seen about 8 get on the field. But here's the veteran. Boy, Lenora Sellers. Nowhere to go. I thought he was going to hand it off to Rocket Sanders off the right side, but he kept it himself. And now it's 4th down. And about 5 to go, and a loss of 2 on the play.
Timeout. Old Dominion. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds in length.
There's no threat of throwing the football right now. Old Dominion knows it. We said it a couple plays ago.
Clock to 2 minutes, 56 seconds. Thank you, 2:56.
They're selling out. I mean, there's just too many defenders inside the box to block for South Carolina. Right now, Old Dominion's going to have that 1 timeout plus a 2-minute timeout. So good call by Old Dominion and their coaching staff by punting the football, trusting their defense the way they played this afternoon into tonight to get the 3 and out with still plenty of time to figure out a way to try and go down there and win this ball game.
Boy, next week this Gamecock team has to reload as they hit the road and take on Kentucky, but they got to handle business here first. Back-to-back conference games against Kentucky and LSU after this one. So Kai Kroger back to punt it away. He's had 1 punt blocked tonight. Isaiah Page back at the 20-yard line. No rush. Good kick from Kroger. Fair catch called for. And so ODU will have it at the 20-yard line. There is a flag way back at the 40-yard line. Referee Daniel Gautreau will let us know what that's all about.
During the kick, holding, return team.
Oh boy.
Number 3. The penalty will be half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, we talked about Shane Beamer having to get this group to finish this one. And then it's at Kentucky. Then you get LSU. And then they have a murderer's row coming up on the 5th, 12th, and 19th of October. Ole Miss at Alabama, at Oklahoma. Get a little week off and host Texas A&M.
Very much, I know there's no East and West anymore in the SEC, but a lot of SEC West flavor. The SEC West has been that kind of the dominant side of the SEC for quite some time now, and it's nice to get some new faces, but that is a tough schedule for a young football team.
1st down and 10. 2:50 on the clock. He'll hand it off to Aaron Young. Don't forget there's that 2-minute timeout that Old Dominion has to work with as well. So realistically, 2 timeouts available for the Monarchs. Come near side with it. Here's Page. Bounces off a couple of South Carolina defenders, including Nicky Manwari and Judge Collier.
Well, you're in 4-down territory now. There is no more punting the football. You got to go for it if you're unable to get this 3rd down.
At 3rd and 3. Again comes near side to Page. He's hit immediately, but has enough for the first down.
Yeah, you like to get one more play in if you can. 7 seconds for that 2-minute timeout. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it or not.
They just do get it off. Dump it off underneath. That's Aaron Young on the reception, and that'll stop it at 1:53 for the 2-minute timeout. So we'll step aside. Coming down to the wire here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Boy, South Carolina with their hands full. They're up by 4, getting really, really late. Minute 53 to play. Old Dominion now down to 1 timeout remaining. It is 2nd down and 4. And they've got a lot of football field to cover. Ball sits at the 28-yard line. Old Dominion came into this one as a 21-point underdog. Three-man rush. Wilson throws it to the wide side of the field. There's Aaron Young. He'll have a first down, and he is dropped at the 38-yard line by Bam Martin Scott.
That was an impressive play right there from Grant Wilson. Get through his reads, thought he's going to run the football. And then flings it out to the side.
For an injured player.
Not only does he throw it sidearm, but puts it pretty accurately to his back out of the backfield.
10-second runoff. The clock was stopped for a runner who made the line of gain and went out of bounds.
So no 10-second runoff, as you heard from our referee, Daniel Gautreau, as the runner was out of bounds, so the clock was already stopped. Boy, Grant Wilson in the second half has really calmed things down for this Old Dominion team. He's 21 of 36, 194 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. That pick came in a red zone. Actually, it was a 2nd and goal situation, I think, and a pick in the end zone.
And then the one big mistake on the fumble, ends up running the football. Yeah. Ball gets popped out. I mean, that's could be end up being the difference, and it's unfortunate because he has had, I would consider, a pretty darn good football game here on the road, first game of the season. But you have to understand the way your defense is playing, and as a quarterback, rule number 1, protect the football. And I'm sure that's going to be the number 1 thing if they're unable to find a way to pull this one out and win it here in the last drive. It's going to be the one play that he's going to be dreaming about or having nightmares about this evening.
One of the things that happened in the first half is South Carolina got to the quarterback. 5 sacks. They hit Wilson a bunch. In the second half, they've yet to allow a sack.
Yeah. Well, he's been getting the ball out. I will say this, there's partly due to fear, but the ball has been getting out of his hands a lot quicker here in the second half.
Aaron Young in the backfield. They will throw it to him. Nice little catch. Ball was hot coming his way. O'Donnell Fortune pushes him out of bounds.
And with 1:40, I still think you can continue to take these completions. You don't have to feel like you got to throw 10, 15-yard plays down the field. You just got to keep getting first downs. 1:40 with a timeout. It's a lot of time still.
Again, dropping 8. Over the middle, high throw. That one's picked off. Jalen Kilgore just saved the day for South Carolina. His second career interception comes at the most opportune time with 1:29 to play.
I'm going to take another look. I don't know if this was passing maybe a tad bit off from the quarterback. Yeah, just high. It's very difficult for a receiver to be able to go up there and get it. And then as soon as that ball's tipped, that's a DB's dream right there, right into the hands of Kilgore. Right spot, right time for the nickel. And for South Carolina, one thing we do take away from this, Dave, this defense has played great today. All 3 levels, not the front 4. While they may not have been able to put the pressure they were able to do in the first half, have done a great job. And then the secondary as well, besides the one big play in the first quarter, have done their job.
Shane Beamer just called a timeout right before that snap.
Prior to the snap, timeout, South Carolina. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds in length. Please
Shane
reset
Beamer is not
game
happy.
clock to 1 minute and 29 seconds. Thank you.
So in this situation, obviously you expected maybe a little bit more. You knew you might have your hands full with Old Dominion, but you didn't think it'd come down to this scenario. So how long do you let this one linger before you start worrying about Kentucky?
I mean, that's the hard part. Like you know, you're glad you got the rust off. You got a lot of experience for a lot of guys, especially on offense. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of film review and learning from this game. But, man, you got Kentucky next week. We'll obviously see what Kentucky looks like in the game right after this. But they themselves got a brand new quarterback in Brock Vandegrift. Going to be a first-year starter, former Georgia quarterback. You know, we're going to get a good action for him. But on the road next week.
Old Dominion. It is their third. It will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 27 seconds. Thank you.
Listen, we always say you learn a lot from your first season to your second season at any position. You learn a lot, too, from week 1 to week 2. You know, this is a big difference. I don't care who the opponent is. Getting out there and actually playing a game in front of thousands and thousands of fans and getting those jitters out. So you got to start figuring out, I mean, on offense, you got to figure out who the playmakers are. You got to find out who are our playmakers and how can we get them the ball more often next week. Because if you're a one-dimensional football team in this league, if all it is Rocket and Lenore's running the football, defenses in the SEC are too big and too strong in the front seven. You will not be able to move the ball effectively.
Hey, they average 3.5 yards per rush. You're going to have to be better than that.
Yeah.
And, of course, they averaged 85 yards a game a year ago. They put up 188, though they'll lose a few on this Lenora Sellers back pedal, but there are still some things they got to work out. You know, I mean, obviously the wide receivers, they got to find somebody they can rely on in that group. I think defensively they're going to be able to play in this league and keep things close. Ricky Ronnie going to walk out of here. I mean, I'm telling you what, being an ODU fan, it's got to be tough. All these close games, 12 of their last 14 have been one-possession games.
19-16, you were winning the football game with the ball in your hands before the fumble.
Timeout, South Carolina. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Boy, they are calling a timeout with 42 seconds.
You don't see Beamer get that animated much at all.
Oh boy.
Young football team. Redshirt freshman quarterback, 19 years old, first start. All valuable learning moments, and we talked about the maturity of Lenore Sellers. Coach Giuseppe tells us he doesn't make the same mistake twice, so the goal is learn from those mistakes that were made tonight and don't make them again next week.
Well, Dow Loggins, Shane Beamer both said he's like a robot. He's almost emotionless at times. Listens, very attentive. Takes a knee there at the back pedals to the 28-yard line. But that'll do it. This clock will run out. Nothing Old Dominion can do about it. So South Carolina will win it. Was not easy. Trailed in the fourth quarter, 19-16. But defense came up with another big play, creating a short field for the offense. And Lenora Sellers able to put it in the end zone for the difference in this game.
I'll tell you this, Dave. It's a lot better teaching off a win than a loss.
Yes.
You know, you could be going through these growing pains with a loss to start the season. Much rather have to feel bad about the performance, but no, hey, at the end of the day, we're 1-0. We're 1-0. We got the win. Got our first win this season. And let's start to try and stack those going forward.
I do like the front six for South Carolina a lot. They showed me a lot tonight. There's some serious talent.
I think you like the defense. I think you like the offensive line. Obviously, they stayed healthy. That's the first thing. And, you know, I thought Rocket looked healthy, which is a big plus. Him knocking off the rust himself. The Norris ran well. Like we always say, it's not as good as it looks, but it's not always as bad as it looks either.
South Carolina wins their 87th opener. They're 87-40 with 4 ties. So a new-look South Carolina team with 21 transfers, 16 true freshmen. Still trying to figure things out. In the 4th year for Shane Beamer, who just won for the 21st time, now 21-18 as the head coach of the Gamecocks. And up next is a date at Kentucky. Game you can catch on ABC. And then quick turnaround to LSU back here at Williams-Brice Stadium. We had about a 45-minute lightning delay in the second quarter. Kind of got things out of whack. Allowed Old Dominion maybe to kind of settle things down.
I think for South Carolina fans, they were hoping it settled their offense down and settled their quarterback down in his first start.
So waiting to track down Shane Beamer, get his thoughts. Maybe he'll calm down after that last minute and a half.
Got to warn our girl Amanda before she asks the right questions, you know? Or Ashley, excuse me.
There are the goggles. Now, you just wonder if Lenora Sellers is going to have the success. Won't be long before we see goggles throughout the stands here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Well, let's go down to Ashley, who's got Coach Beamer.
All right, Coach Odie, you didn't make it easy, but a win is a win. You guys were down in that 4th quarter. How do you feel like your team was able to respond, at least finish this one this way?
I love the way that we responded anytime adversity happened tonight, and there was a lot of it. We responded, whether it be the offense responding to something defensively, defense responding to a special teams breakdown, defense responding to a lot of mistakes offensively. We talked last night about having each other's backs. We had each other's backs. So nobody panicked. We found a way to win. Having said that, this was an awful performance and unacceptable in a lot of ways. Give Old Dominion credit. They got a good football team, and we knew that coming in. We know all about this conference, and they're a good team. But at the same time, we made more mistakes tonight. We made enough mistakes for the entire season tonight, and we got a lot to get cleaned up. But we'll take the win and get back to work tomorrow, and I think we got a really good football team. We just really made it hard on ourselves tonight.
Some things to clean up, but that veteran defense definitely showing that what they're capable of. How much do you feel like you're going to lean on them, especially with how young the offense is, and how long you lean on them this early in the season? Yeah,
a lot. You know, they're a veteran group, and we need to. And, you know, we're a team that this year we're going to have to play great defense and be better on special teams than we were tonight and run the ball. You know, we obviously got to get the passing game going, and there's a lot to clean up. I mean, we'll celebrate this one, enjoy it. We played a lot of freshmen tonight. They're going to continue to get better. This quarterback you're about to talk to, he's going to continue to get better. But, you know, we beat a good football team tonight, and we'll take it and learn from it.
And Lenora Sellers, I mean, what do you say about your freshman quarterback, his first college start?
Yeah, he'll be the first to tell you a lot to be better at, but he never panicked, and you want that in a leader. You know, I told him he was going to take us down the field and lead us to, you know, a victory, and he did a great job there at the end, and he'll learn from this one, and we'll be better. He will as well.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Dave.
Well, they're going to run with Lenora Sellers. He's their guy. We'll see how this plays out through the course of the season. Certainly he's got an outstanding skill set. Somehow South Carolina found a way. They willed themselves to victory here in their opener of 2024. Great day to open up the season with Aaron Murray, Ashley Chametti. I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Williams-Brice Stadium. Let's get you to Dari.